Okay, guys, can you hear me? Are you guys able to hear me loud and clear? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Perfect. Thank you. Awesome, guys. I'm just wearing this microphone so you guys hopefully can hear me better and I can eliminate the room better than before. Thank you for being here. It is Sunday. It is 12 noon here in Florida. I really do not know where you guys are right now and what part of the world you guys are in, but the purpose of today's video is to talk about the show, the Florida Audio International Expo that just happened last week, and obviously give you perhaps answer some questions about what I saw there. You guys have seen a lot of my videos, pretty much all my body of work right over the last 6 days. I mean, I've been releasing videos every single day since I came back home. There are more interviews which will be released actually Monday, Tuesday. I have an interview coming with President and CEO of TAD Laboratories. It's the second time he's in the country, so he doesn't speak very good English, but we had a translator. So you guys will see my interview. You guys will get to know if that speaker was also designed by Andrew Jones. So I know you guys cannot wait to know if this new third generation of TAD loudspeakers have Andrew Jones' hands all over it. Okay, so be on the lookout for that interview. Okay, which will hopefully be released either tomorrow, Monday, or Tuesday. I also have another room, guys, which is the best room in my opinion, under the $100,000 MSRP for everything. So this system was actually impressive, and you guys will see that footage probably again early next week. Okay, so bear with me. But it has been a lot of work, guys. You guys have seen the body of work. You guys have seen the body of work that I've been putting in. I mean, a lot of work, right? A lot of leg work, interviews. I'm asking the questions that you guys want to know. You've seen the questions that I had for MBL Labs as far as the efficiency of the speaker and how compatible the loudspeakers are with other brands. You're seeing the questions that I had for the designer of Claris's loudspeakers. I asked him if indeed ribbons get loose over time, so he gave answers to that. So long story short, guys, you guys are seeing all the questions. You guys are seeing my interviews front and center. I'm not hiding behind a phone. I'm not hiding doing BS content. I'm front and center interacting with the audience. You guys see my work. I mean, I go and hit the ground hard. In case you do not know, so far I have pumped out approximately close to actually 60 videos. 60 videos since the beginning of the show. Okay, 60 videos, including interviews. Okay, so that just hopefully does not go unnoticed by all of you guys watching me right now. Hopefully, you guys can see my work, my legwork, my effort every single time that I get out to a show. To me, that means a lot. Your support, you subscribing, you hitting that like button, you guys doing this on every video is huge because it lets me know that you want to see more of that. In case you haven't watched the videos, I hope you have. You noticed that I did something really cool this time, which is a live commentary of a speaker as I sit there listening to it and give you my feedback, my impressions about the loudspeaker, so that my memory isn't completely blank when I come home and I have to articulate about what I remember about a particular room. The reason why I did that is because I wanted you all to get the feeling of being there with me. And it was just a last minute idea that I had. And I think it actually paid off really well. So maybe in the future, I continue to do that. Now, just in case you are wondering, okay, some of you guys have been a little bit critical about this type of video, but I want to make sure I am clear on what that video was about. What that video is about is me talking on a wireless microphone here on my neck, right? And just listening to the music. This wireless microphone that I wear, which you're not seeing here, is simply picking up the music for you guys to understand the music that I'm listening to. So it's not like a stereo microphone. It's not like I'm doing some tricks. It is simply a wireless microphone on my neck and me speaking into it, and the wireless microphone is picking up the music. But don't think that it is the same microphone that I use in my room to record like music for you guys to evaluate a certain component. Okay, that is not the intent of those videos. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. Okay, so don't go around like analyzing the music. It is not for that. It's just so that you can hear me talk over the music and see my reaction. Okay, so going forward, keep that in mind. All right. So I wanted to make sure you guys understand that. Okay, so what questions do you guys, first of all, let me ask you this. I mean, first of all, let's hit the thumbs up, please, guys. We have 72 people watching. Can you do me a huge favor? Hit that like button so that we can call on more viewers and we can have a beautiful discussion today. And I can answer all of your questions, okay? And we can have a very healthy conversation. Hit that like button for me, please. Thank you. I appreciate you guys acknowledging my work, the coverage of the show. Very, very appreciative of that, guys. As long as you guys are appreciating what I do and you guys are commenting and you guys are giving me that positive feedback that I need, I will continue to work my ass off constantly for you guys. I'll promise you that. I will keep pushing hard, just like what you saw with this last show. Okay. Now we have Expona coming up in about 7 weeks. My intent is to come to the show, but I still don't have a hotel room. There are no rooms for the press at the hotel. It's completely sold out. But I will make a decision this week because I'm also trying to go to Germany in May. I am trying to see if I can finally make it to Germany for the first time, go to Munich and attend that show. So for those of you who are planning to go to Germany, and attend that show, you might see me. So don't feel free to say hello to me. Okay, that will be my first one. So it's going to be a lot to digest, I'm sure, because it's the biggest show in the world. So pretty pumped to hopefully attend Munich show. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the comments. Um, Thank you, buddy. Appreciate your comment, buddy. Means a lot to me. You guys standing behind me is really important to me. Okay, because I just simply want you guys to compare, the level of coverage that I'm giving you guys and what everyone else is doing, and then you guys decide who is really giving you more quality work. And I'm trying harder to do better content, more quality at work, and simply keep you guys tuned into my channel. Okay, that's the intent. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, so thank you. I look forward to going to Germany, guys. So let's talk about the speakers that I heard at the show. Okay, so this is information that I'm going to give you guys, which I couldn't articulate on the videos because I was under some time constraints. But right now I have some time to talk to you guys a little more about different speakers there, right? To be honest with you, let me start by saying that I was very impressed by the MBL speaker. Um, I never expected for the MBL 101 MK2 to blow me away as much as it did. I never expected it, guys, because, as you know, I was very critical of the big extreme system a year ago. I wasn't impressed, but as I stated earlier, these exhibitors have an opportunity to redeem themselves at the next show. Sometimes you are dealt with a crappy room, crappy power, you got fake walls, fake partitions in the middle, and it's a very difficult situation for a lot of these exhibitors. So, first and foremost, I want to congratulate all the exhibitors that were at the show for all your hard earned work. I want to acknowledge that, and I want to tell you, I want to say to you, thank you for being there and allowing me to cover you guys. The MBL room to me, guys, was absolutely amazing. Now, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. It is a different presentation. So I will say to you guys, it is a very difficult, it's a different presentation that you may like or may not like. It is not it doesn't translate what you currently hear through your regular box speakers like woofer, tweeter, box shaped speaker that you have right now. That sound doesn't completely translate into what MBL does. MBL completely kind of reshapes the way the sound comes at you and gives you a different perspective. I almost feel as if I am on the stage with the performers when I listen to an MBL speaker. So right here, if I am here on the stage and I have the performers around me, that's kind of how MBL feels. So I'm not on the front row, like in the front row, second row, third row. No, I'm on the stage with them. And so if you don't like that type of presentation, then yeah, you may not like MBL. I personally liked it because it's a cool feeling. It's a different feeling. And and to me it was really, really impressive, what I heard. Um, of course, some of the comments that you guys left behind included people that currently own or have owned MBLs, and they said that they tried everything with MBL loudspeakers, and only MBL amplifiers were really the amplifiers that made the speakers wake up and completely blow them away. I can't comment on that. You guys saw the question that I had for MBL in the room, and they claimed that the speakers are pretty much flexible when it comes to amplification. Guys, again, that's what he said. And then some of you guys commented on that video saying that no, like that's not how it is. That MBL is almost forcing you to use MBL electronics. Can't comment on that. I haven't owned it, but I did want to say that MBL did a phenomenal job at the show, guys. Absolutely phenomenal job. I sat there for hours, and I just felt that it was, I could have given MBL best room at the show. I really think I could have given that to MBL. I really think so. I did not hear Roberto the EMM labs. Unfortunately, I didn't. Um, No, I think MBL is a very solid brand. Look, I have been very critical of European brands, right? You guys know I have been extremely critical of them because, first of all, the US market is very bad with European brands here in the United States, right? Number one. But number two, please understand the following: MBL has penetrated the US market. They have a presence, they have a following here in the US market. So MBL, it's almost as if we were saying it's an Americanized brand. Like if they have the citizenship, right? That's kind of what it is. They're not like a just a visitor. I feel like MBL got the residence and then they apply for citizenship, and I almost feel as if MBL has become an Americanized brand. It's been well accepted by now in the United States, so I don't feel like I'm buying something European when I buy MBL because there's so much of it right here, and I hear so much information about MBL that it doesn't feel like I'm disconnected and I have to email a remote computer overseas to get some answers, if that makes sense. So yeah, so another thing, thank you for calling that out, Jeff, about customer service and customer support. Guys, I was very open about that, okay? And one of the things you'll see on my videos, okay, going forward is, I'm sorry, I'm going to be open and I'm going to be honest, okay? I want to be first and foremost respectful of these exhibitors' work. Number one. But number two, I also have to bring, attention to areas of concern, okay? And one of the areas of concern with imported products is the support after you make that purchase. I don't want to spend 10, 20, $30,000 shipping a product overseas to get it repaired and wait 3, 4, 5 months to get it back. That is not feasible. And I am telling you all right now, if you are buying European brands or any brands from overseas, okay, I will tell you, do your homework. The best advice I have for you guys is do your homework before you put your money into a European brand. Meaning, What does that mean? Make sure you do your research as far as like, do they have a service center in the United States? Question number one. If I have a these are the questions you should be asking your dealers. If you're going to buy a European brand, these are the questions you should ask. If I have a problem, where is this getting repaired? Is it getting repaired in the United States? Is it getting a repair in Europe? And if they tell you it's got to travel back to Denmark or Switzerland, okay. Question number two should be is who is paying for shipping, right? Because if you're buying something under warranty, you should not be paying for shipping. They should be eating that shipping charge if it's going to go overseas. Okay, so I would say who is paying for shipping? If you have a pair of speakers, a pair of panels, and you're going to pay that shipping back to Europe, $2, $3, $4,000 gone right there. So I would say stay away from that mess. Don't do any business with a brand that's going to put that responsibility on you to ship product back overseas, unless you're saving money by buying it used. That's a whole different conversation. If you're trying to save money and not buy from a dealer, and you're trying to get a killer deal online on the used market, then you should assume that responsibility because you are saving money. But if you're buying a new item through a dealer, you have to drill these dealers with these questions. You have to be sure that you ask these questions. Who is responsible for what in the event of a failure? And how long is the turnaround time? Because you don't want to be out of a product, okay? A good dealer would tell you this. Look, a good dealer would tell you if that amplifier breaks and it has to go back to Denmark or it has to go back overseas, because you're my customer, do not worry. I will put another replacement amplifier from my showroom, whatever I have available, for you to continue to listen to your music while your amplifier gets repaired. That is a dealer. That's what a dealer is supposed to do. Offer you something in the meantime. Now, it may not be the same amplifier that you are sending for repair, but it could be something comparable. That is a real dealer. That's what a real dealer should be doing. Okay, so be careful with buying product from overseas. I'm telling you right now, ask the questions. Ask the questions. Don't buy if you're not asking these questions. All right. Acora Acoustics, Dave, was an amazing presentation. So give you some more context as far as how that conversation went with Valerio last year at I believe it was Capital Audio Fest. So when he unveiled their last speaker, I can't remember the model number, but it was a white cabinet. It was a different material. It wasn't granite. It was something else. I remember sitting with him in the room until about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were talking about what does the future look like for Acora Acoustics. And he pulled out his phone and showed me a prototype of a speaker. Now I can't remember if it's this speaker or it was a different speaker, but I remember talking to him, and he told me at that point in time that the next speaker will be a flagship speaker in the six-figure range, because he wanted to make a statement and he wanted to gain a lot of respect from all these heavy hitters. I thought, you know what, six figures makes sense. Now, I did not know it was going to be $200,000, but I want to make sure I make this clear. This model that just unveiled may not be the same model I saw on his phone. It may have been a different version. It could be something else. But it is definitely a huge leap in terms of MSRP, because you're looking at a speaker. His last model, the most expensive model, was $50K, and he jumped from 50 to $220,000. So it's a huge gap, and especially when he didn't put anything right in the middle, right at about 100 grand, 110 maybe. But he told me he's going to work on a next model will be like 110, 120, and it will be trickle down technology, from this $200,000 model. So he's thinking about that already. He's working, he's working on doing that at this time. Okay, so the reason why I selected that as the best cost no object room for me is because, and again, guys, please, I want to make sure you guys understand the following. You may see different reviews showing up on, soon, magazines, all of this commentary, and they may have a different room, which is totally fine. This is why the hobby is very subjective. So what I'm giving you is nothing else than, my feedback, okay? My personal feedback. Other brands, other people, other magazines, other reviewers may disagree. It's fine. It's part of the business, is part of the hobby. So I selected them because that room, number one, was massive. Number two, I want to say this, okay? I spend private time with those speakers. Okay, so some of you guys may have been at a show, walked in there, heard it play really loudly, and you didn't like what you heard. But to be fair, it's not the same as when you sit there behind closed doors and you do real critical listening. Okay. I did that with that speaker, and that speaker sounded phenomenal. Okay. Never got bright, pretty effortless, incredible soundstage, massive soundstage, I should say. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, like it filled a room that I would say a lot of these big speaker brands probably would have a hard time filling. I mean, I can tell you that was a difficult space, and the speaker was just effortless, guys. So I kept listening. I tried sitting to the left, to the right, off axis, on axis, got further back, close, and it was there for me. I mean, it really, I couldn't deny it. And honestly, another reason why I gave that to him, the best course no object award, is because of the fact that this is a first time that he makes a speaker, manufactures a speaker at this level. To me, that was impressive. If that was his first attempt, the result was impressive. Can't really always say that about other brands. Okay, you've seen other brands from other manufacturers that the MK1 version, you realize it wasn't so great until they get up to about the MK3 version of that model. But I think he did a phenomenal job. I was very surprised to know that he used a very big beryllium tweeter, and I'm assuming the reason why he's using a bigger beryllium tweeter is because the bigger the beryllium tweeter, the softer it sounds. In case you do not know, okay. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. Okay, magical speakers, right? If you think about the Q7 MK1 version, that had a 25 millimeter tweeter, I believe, beryllium tweeter, right? And then he went up to like a 28, I believe, 27, 28, I can't remember, millimeter beryllium tweeter on the MK2 version. The reason why he did that is to soften the top end. So typically, when you get a larger beryllium tweeter installed, the top end gets more relaxed. Even my A5 right now, okay, right behind me, has a larger tweeter than the S7 that I had. And that is usually, again, to soften the top end. So I understand now why he chose a larger tweeter, to kind of get the speaker to sound a little softer and mellow it out. And I think it was a perfect balance there, the perfect balance. Tremendous bass, soundstage, everything was there. Okay, let me see what other questions. Right now, guys, if you some people are asking me about me, if I'm taking something, and I'm like, guys, I just went back to the gym for the first time, one time last week after maybe 2 months. I haven't been to the gym since first week in December. So I just went back to the gym, had one workout last week, and I'm pretty sore. So yeah, I haven't been to the gym in 2 months. So I'm planning to go back and get back on the horse again next week. Let me see what do you guys have for questions. So okay, so let's talk about TAD loudspeakers. All right, so I know you guys want to know a lot more about TAD, right? Thank you, Ken. I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, get some people, call on some people right now so we can have a healthy discussion. I really appreciate you guys supporting me, okay? So if you can hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Um, so let's see. Let's talk about TAD speakers, or technical audio device laboratories, okay? Here is something that you guys may want to know. I have seen that brand at least 3 times by now at different shows. Never care for it. Never care about TAD Laboratories. Passed them by, kind of heard them in the background. And now, to be sincere with you, ha, I sat down for the first time. They actually contacted me through email, and they had an appointment set up for me before I got to the show because they wanted me to come in and listen to the speaker. So I left them for last because I didn't have high expectations, guys. The truth is, I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to hear the same thing anyway, so I'm not going to spend much time with TAD Laboratories. Little did I know that I was going to be in for a shock. When I heard them at the show by myself. Actually, 2 more people were behind me, 3 maybe. I was taken aback by what I heard. Okay, so TAD, in my opinion, sounds very different than Wilson Audio, than Focal, and magical than the usual suspects. Very different sound, not the same sound. And I don't mean in a bad way. It's just a different presentation. Okay. So let me expand on that. Okay. So what I'm saying, okay, is as far as the presentation, what did I, what is it that they do? Number one is they're very natural, guys. The speaker doesn't try to force information at you. It doesn't try to create and make the presentation what it's not. It doesn't sound synthetic. It doesn't sound fake. It doesn't sound Hollywood. That's the word. You guys notice how when you watch a movie, movies are meant to have a lot of special effects and make things sound more enhanced to kind of draw your attention to what just happened, right? You guys notice that, right? Tad doesn't do that. So Tad is going to give you the real sound that you would hear out and about. Nothing sounds enhanced. So for some of you guys, it may not be the right speaker because you might feel like it's not as impressive. Okay. Not as impressive because you might be used to the other brands that try to enhance the music. Okay. And Tad is not trying to do that. So Tad is more like, sit down, let me take you away and give you what's happening. So it's a very natural speaker. It's not going to enhance anything. And it's actually very big sounding, which was a huge surprise, guys. Huge surprise for me. Tad had tremendous soundstage and very musical, very musical. And by the way, in case you did not know, they were using Class D amplifiers, Tad's Class D amplifiers with their own DAC, and it sounded very amazing. I never got the feeling that I was listening to any digital. I mean, it was incredible, and it's again Class D amps, a DAC, and it sounded almost like I couldn't. If you had told me it was a tape, I probably could have believed you. No, okay, guys. So I'm giving accolades to Tad. I am giving accolades to MBL. I'm giving accolades to Akora. And soon next week, you will see another room, okay, that I haven't spoken about, okay? So all of them are great. And this does not change the fact that you may occasionally see in the future a Wilson audio speaker or a Magic Ruffle Cow. So remember, guys, this is about a journey. So my journey can take me like this. Okay. I have given you MoFi speakers. I have given you Magical S7s. I have given you Magical A5s. I went back to the Sashas. You guys have seen me go from here. Okay. As far as loudspeakers, XLF, Magical N6s. You guys have seen speakers that are here. And now I'm swimming these waters around here, right? Low, just different level. But I'm doing that for you guys. Okay. That does not mean that I may not revisit some of these expensive brands, expensive speakers down the road. It will happen. As a matter of fact, if you are wondering, next Friday, I'm announcing it right now. Next Friday, I am taking delivery of the next chapter in my lab. Next Friday, I will be receiving what will be the most impressive purchase component in the history of my journey. I am working with my video editor to make a very polished video, special effects, the music behind it. I want this to go all out. I want it to be an all out assault. And so I will be spending Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week completely removed from my family and 100% dedicated to setting up this speaker. If you have any interest in knowing what the speaker is, next Friday, if you become a member of my website on jayaudiolab.com, you guys will have a first look at the most impressive loudspeaker in the history of my existence, actually. If you must know, this speaker MSRPs for more money than any loudspeaker at the Florida Audio Expo. That's all I'm going to say. The MSRP of this loudspeaker that I'm about to show you in a few weeks is higher than any speaker you saw at the Florida Audio Expo. I'm going to leave it at that. It is the most impressive, and I have to probably go to sell my kidney next week to pay for it, but it is what it is. I just, stars align, and I'm very, 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 very honored to share that next chapter in my life and my journey here in the lab, guys. So if you want to know what it is, become a member soon, because next week I will begin to upload content on my website. Okay, you guys have been warned. Yes, jaws will drop. Yes, guys, jaws will drop next week. That's right. I dare to say it might be the most expensive speaker, even at the upcoming um, show, the Expona 2023. I dare to say it might be. So I know I got your attention now. I urge you, become a member soon, because they will get, my members there will get a first look. I will be filming content as this massive thing arrives. I will be taking videos. If you are an ultra hi-fi member, I have a WhatsApp group right now happening that they will get real-time videos as I'm sweating my you know what, moving these crates around, position these monsters in position, like they will get the closest to the experience. Become a member, I urge you now. You don't have to, no you don't. You can just continue to be here. Eventually the speaker will show up on my channel. I just don't know when that will be. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned, folks. now now let me just say this though. Now this loudspeaker, like anything else, eventually will, you know, spread its wings and fly away from the room like anything else. So it'll be a speaker that will be with me for probably the next 3 to 6 months, because I want to really spend time with it. Okay. And I can't use any other speakers because unfortunately this is a heavy speaker and I cannot move it around to put other speakers in place. Okay. So I must say that. But once this speaker is, I feel that I'm done with it and it's time to move on, I believe my next speaker will probably be one of the speakers that I heard at this last show. Okay. If you're asking me, Jay, why did you not get one of the speakers from the last show that you praised so much? Let me answer that question right now. Let me tell you why. Because I wasn't expecting, okay, to go to the show and be blown away the way I was by several rooms. I had already committed to the purchase of this next level loudspeaker maybe about 3 to 4 weeks ago. So I gave a deposit, the speaker is being built. So I couldn't just go back and say, give me the money back because now I'm going to buy one of the speakers from the show. It doesn't work that way with the ultra high end guys. So in case you are disappointed, please understand that I had already committed my budget and I had already given a deposit on this next speaker. So this is why I can't right now buy an MBL. I can't buy right now a TAD. I can't buy, whatever other speaker I saw at the show that I was impressed by. I can't do that right now. Business was, I already shook hands. And when it comes to my next speaker. Okay. So, guys, I'm so freaking excited to share that with you. I can't stress it enough. I get goosebumps thinking about it, folks. Goosebumps. And so 3 days next week, I will have a live feed for those members that want to see the speaker in the room and me working that speaker with several people. And eventually, I plan to invite several people to do a live stream so you guys can see the reaction of everyone in the room with the speaker set up. This speaker is large. It is no joke. Okay. And I may even have to close this door, this entrance to the room right here. I may have to shut that door completely because I need to use as much space as possible around the speaker. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. So you guys need to stay focused and tuned. I'm about to shock you. And you guys know I have been giving you affordable components for some time, right? I have been doing what you guys wanted me to do. More affordable stuff, MoFi speakers, A5, Sashas. You can't complain. Now, put your seatbelts on. Put your seatbelt on because I'm going to take you. I have taken you to the sky. Now I'm going to take you to the moon. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to take you to the moon. Stay tuned to see my $1 million system very soon. For the first time, I hit 7 figures in my room. For the first time, I'm telling you, I am so pumped, guys. So pumped. And you guys are going to see it here at Jay's Audio Lab. All right, guys. What other questions do you guys have? I won't talk about what it is. Just stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's going to be an impressive outing. You guys are going to, I think there's always going to be those of you who will criticize. I understand it. But please, before you critique, hear me out. I already gave you guys affordable gear, MoFi speakers. I give you a review on that. You guys know I have been playing with more affordable stuff lately. You can't tell me I have not. Boulder 866, right? 85, Sasha. You guys know this, okay? But now I'm gonna take it to a whole new level. So sit down, enjoy the ride. It's about to get seriously interesting here. I won't talk about the brand, guys. All I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you one hint. One hint only, nothing else, okay? You guys want to know what it is? One hint. This is a flagship speaker right now for this particular brand. That's all I'm going to say. Flagship speaker for this brand. I'm not going to tell you anything else. Nothing else. I am actually writing on a piece of paper my speech as far as what I want to say to you guys to give you a little more context about my history, where it came from, how long it's taken me to get this far. You know, all the hustle, all the work, working 3, 4, 5 jobs to be able to afford this. And I am trying to put these words on paper so that I can articulate a little bit of the sentimental value and, of course, what I feel reaching these heights when it comes to loudspeakers. So it's going to be an impressive thing. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. It's a flagship speaker. That's all I'm going to tell you. So it's the top model for this brand. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's the top of the top. Nothing above it. Nothing above it. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I am very nervous because it is very heavy and it will take a lot of work to set up. Yeah, NBL. Okay, so any other, let me see. What questions do you guys have? Let me answer your questions. Okay. Can we hit that like button, folks, when you have a moment, please? Hit that like button. Thank you, guys. Okay, so Sopra 2 today. Sopra 2 is a great speaker, guys. Great speaker. Great speaker. Sopra 2 is I like that speaker. The 3 I like, but remember, it's all about synergy. Synergy is why I do my consultation service. I have a lot of consultations every week. You guys are always scrambling, trying to mix and match components. And I always say, spend a couple $100. Talk to me. Let me give you my input. Maybe you have seen your next speaker, your next amplifier on my channel. You want my experience. I'm gonna narrow it down for you guys from having 10 different options down to 2 or 3 so you're not confused. I promise you're going to lose more money by trying to do this mix and matching on your own rather than talking to me. Believe me, you're going to lose more money by doing it on your own. Okay. So yeah, there is always that. People think that I am biased because I am using only box speakers, and I understand that, guys. Which is why I thought MBL was very attractive to me as of recently. I agree with that, guys. But other than the MBL, I haven't found a speaker out there that really makes me tap my feet. A different design. I mean, I've already had panels, so I don't think I'm going to go to panels anytime soon. They don't work for my room anyway because they're too wide. So I can't really put a panel here. So I'm not interested in a panel. And other than omnidirectional speakers, I mean, maybe open baffle, but I haven't heard anything open baffle that blows my mind, folks, if I'm being honest. I haven't. And horns, look, there's a possibility that horns could make an appearance. But if I'm being honest with you guys, keeping it real with you, I wasn't impressed by the avant-garde duo GTs at the show. I was not impressed, and I'm gonna make a video about the rooms that disappointed me at the show. That video will hopefully be released next week. I will make a video about this, but you guys are here with me, so I'll tell you right now, I was not impressed with the avant-garde duo GTs. I wasn't. I think the room was too small for that speaker. Curtis, look, I'm not knocking what GR Research does. I see his videos. Great guy. He seems like a cool person that I'd like to talk to. But I just don't have any plans of bringing anything he makes. Today, tomorrow, I don't really know. Maybe he sends me a pair of speakers. Who knows? For me to try. But that's not really on my radar, to be honest. Right now, I'm not saying it may not happen. Anything is possible, but you know, just saying to you, hi everyone. Yeah, so the TADs have an amazing construction. Listen, guys, TAD loudspeakers, okay, and you guys will see that interview drop. I urge you to watch the interview with TAD Laboratories next week. I urge you. A lot of interesting information will come out about the speaker. I speak and I interview their current CEO, okay? So you guys will see that. Okay. He was interviewed by me. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Amazing construction. TAD loudspeakers have incredible construction by far. Japanese guys, top notch everything. No corners cut at all. I love their look, their feel. I wasn't a fan of that color, but as I sat there, it grew on me, to be honest with you. Yeah, TAD has tremendous construction. Absolutely, guys. I would not hesitate. Anything that they make, anything. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I was taken aback by what I heard with Tad. You guys, listen, this is why I did that live commentary. This is why I evaluated the systems because I wanted you all to hear me, even if I stumble on my own words. I wanted you guys to get that from me. I wanted you to. There's no way I can fake what I was saying. Does that make sense? I couldn't fake it. I do have a Mark Levinson amp in the back, and that is for my home theater speakers. No, they're amazing guys. Tab speakers are awesome. MBL is awesome. Acora Acoustic was awesome. Claris's panels were awesome, which is supposed to be Apogee Reborn. In case you do not know, the guy who is the designer of Claris's panels was a guy who worked on Magnum on Apogee loudspeakers. That's what he used to do. I believe he restored Apogee loudspeakers. So he knows the design in and out, and he just kind of rebuilt it and gave us something fresh. Yeah, I hear Lyra has incredible construction, no doubt. The Lyra Rockport Lyra is supposed to be an incredibly well built speaker, no question about that, guys. I just have not had the opportunity to bring Lyra in the room. Unfortunately, I just haven't. Okay, so but I can tell you, yes, definitely. Would I pair a $10,000 Luxman with an integrated amp? With an integrated TAD, yeah, with a TAD speaker, yeah, I would do a Luxman integrated with a TAD. But the problem is this, though, you're going to run into problems. Actually, no, I would say no, because TAD loudspeakers need a lot of power, guys, a lot of power. TAD loudspeakers need a tremendous amount of power. So no, I would not do an integrated with them. So I did like those Joseph Audio bookshelf speakers, guys. They were phenomenal. I think they were 10 grand, 12 grand maybe. They were just incredible, those bookshelf speakers. They were amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they had a sub in the room. Incredible speaker. I was like, wow, I would not mind having that Joseph Audio bookshelf speaker in a smaller room. Bayes Audio. So Bayes Audio is another omnidirectional design. The one time I heard it, which was last year, at I believe Capital Audio Fest or Expo. I can't remember when it was. I was not impressed by it. I was not impressed by Bayes Audio. Keeping it real with y'all. Now, does that mean that is my final say? No. It may change when I hear it again, maybe in the next few weeks. But I was never a fan of Bay's audio. Yeah, Joseph has got the only thing I hear about Joseph Audio. The only thing I've heard about Joseph Audio is that they're very difficult to place. That is the only thing I've heard about Joseph Audio. They're not easy speakers to place. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I can't really say if it's true or not true. Von Stryker Audio Ultra 9s. I can't say anything. I haven't really heard him. You know what? Well, you know what brand I want to get out there and see in Germany? Martin loudspeakers from Switzerland. I would love to go see to hear Martin loudspeakers. Wilson, this brand from the UK, Wilson speakers from the UK. That brand, it doesn't do quite well in the United States for some reason. It doesn't have a lot of traction here in the US. A lot of these brands that come from overseas struggle here in the US market. It's a very difficult market to penetrate. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. It's a very difficult market to penetrate in the United States. Yeah, that brand right there is Benish, I think it is Wilson Benish or something like that. Hopefully, I'm not killing the name, but yeah, it's a brand that doesn't do well here in the United States. Kef, I haven't really been a fan of Kef guys, but I'm not gonna say it's a bad brand. I just haven't been a fan of Kef loudspeakers. I find them a little bright. But maybe it was just the one time I heard it. It's just I haven't been in front of Kef too long to really give a proper assessment, a very informed opinion. I have heard Wilson audio speakers that I have not. I have never. I'm sorry, Wilson. Oh, you mean the other Wilsons? Okay, yeah. I have never really heard this Wilson Benish or whatnot. Can't pronounce that name, whatever. Uh, I wasn't. I have. I don't have any point of reference to give you, any feedback to give you when it comes to that other Wilson speaker. Yeah, the blades have been great, but I haven't really spent enough time with them. You know why? Because they're never at shows. The Kef blades, I've never seen them at a show. That's the truth. You know? No, you can't cut. You can't cut transparent speaker cables. They have boxes in the middle. Can't cut them. What? Let me see. Okay, so why? So tell me one thing, guys. If you could pick one thing that stood out for you in 2022 on my channel, what would it be? And the reason why I'm asking is because I want to make sure that I use that as feedback for 2023. So, right now in the chat, give me one thing that you liked on my channel in 2022 that you remember that stands out. Appreciate it, Dragon Audio. Appreciate it. Production got better. That's what I'm trying to do. So, at least you're noticing that production is getting better on my channel. Boulder 3050 amps. Okay, cool. They're still here. I don't plan to sell them. New wires. Yep. I love my cable brand. You guys are gonna hear my cable brand with this statement loudspeaker. You guys are gonna hear my cable brand sound amazing with this new loudspeaker, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate you guys bought an M10X. Someone bought an M10X Luxman because of my channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Amplifier comparison. So you did like the M10X versus the Essence and the Sim Audio. Great. Okay. More shootouts like that are things that you guys are interested in watching. Okay. The inclusion of shorts. I agree. Okay. So you guys like my shorts. Okay, great. Short videos. Cheaper components that I have been incorporating. I agree. I have been trying to bring cheaper components more than before. Short videos. Okay. My visit to the manufacturers. You guys like that magical factory tour. Listen, I'm not biased. I don't mean to be biased, but I think out of all the factory tours that Magical has had, I personally think my factory tour was the best one out of all of them. Call me biased, but you guys can see the rest of the factory tours at the Magical facility and then look at mine, and I think you guys would agree mine was better. Okay, let me see. more straightforward with my opinions. Collaborations with OC Mikey. Yes, you guys like to see me with OCD Mikey, and I like OCD Mikey. I mean, we get along just fine. OCD Mikey is with me. He's cool. I'm cool with him. We never had any issues. Never. We actually love doing collaboration videos. I like the analog versus digital comparisons. Okay, great. Essence versus Luxman shootout. That's what you liked. Okay. Vivid audio. Let me see. My experience with analog was captivating. I know that video that I posted about digital and analog, where I talked about my turntable and what I feel when I use my turntable is something that you guys love, like the differences between analog and digital. What I'm picking up, that video did quite well, by the way. You guys love that video. So maybe I need to start doing a couple of more videos with my turntable and giving you more feedback. Let me see. What else do you guys like? Let me see. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, buddy. I believe my Magical Factory tour was the best Magical Factory tour ever. I believe that 100%. I believe my tour of that facility is the best out of any other tours that have come out of that factory. Yeah, thank you for the shorts. It seems like you guys love the shorts. Okay, great. The short videos. Okay, you guys like when I go to my clients' homes. Okay. Strum Tank. Okay, great. Strum Tank is still here for sure, and it'll continue to be here in 2023. Okay, so here is something I'm about to share with you guys. Again, another thing I'm going to share with you guys. I have emailed Gene from Audioholics. Okay, you guys know who he is. He has a huge YouTube channel, very successful YouTube channel, smart guy. Him and I actually, the idea came from me. But I want to put together a collaboration video with Gene from Audioholics. Gene has his opinion about cables. He currently, I believe, uses Kimber cables, so he definitely believes in the value of well-designed cables. But he does have the idea that, expensive cables are a hustle. As you know, I have expensive cables and affordable cables. So there is going to be a video between him and I on his channel, hopefully next month, when he's got some personal issues right now. We're gonna do a collaboration video where we're gonna open collaboration. He is, I would say, a cable believer, but perhaps I take it to the extreme. So we are going to debate. The cable conversation is going to get really interesting, guys. You do not want to miss that video. Gene from Audioholics, if you're watching this, I do appreciate the opportunity, my man. Thank you so much. Lots of respect for the work that you do. So I'm looking forward to being there and just having a very, very healthy conversation about cables. Yeah, I mean, Gene loves Kimber cables, and I honestly cannot knock the guy for that. He believes in measurements. I believe in measurements, but I also believe in listening too. So a video on speaker setup could be interesting, guys. My issue is every room is different, and what I do in my room may not be applicable to what you guys do because some of you guys are using the living room, and that's a difficult thing to do in your living rooms, right? So yes, I would love to do a setup video with the different brands that I have and what I think has sounded good in my room, but I don't know how applicable that will be in your room. Let me see what else you guys are asking. You guys like when I have buddies over so they can give an opinion on the system. You guys want me to review the PS Audio FR30. I believe, okay. Well, Gene does not believe in cables. I don't agree with that. I think Gene believes in cables because if he doesn't believe in cables, he wouldn't have Kimber cables, right? He would have regular, Home Depot, regular hardware store cables, but he does believe in cables. I just think he doesn't believe in the expensive speaker cables or cables in general because he thinks they're snake oil, right? So, and that's fine. I respect his opinion 100%. So you guys want to see this new PS Audio FR30. Here's the deal with the new PS Audio FR30 speaker. Okay, the MoFi speaker that I brought to you guys on my channel did absolutely phenomenal things for my channel. Okay. I gave that speaker what I consider a very proper review. Okay. I never bashed it while I had it here. I articulated what it did right and what it didn't do right. At the end of the day, I said for 3,700 bucks, yes. I mean, it's a speaker that, I would say it's a good speaker. So I was very fair with the speaker. I want to say that. You guys saw my review of the MoFi speaker, okay? Right now, I do believe PS Audio's FR30 loudspeaker will definitely make an appearance on my channel. Definitely. I think it's a great speaker to bring to my channel at some point. But as I mentioned earlier, in case you're just getting in here right now and you haven't seen this video from the beginning, I have a flagship speaker arriving this Friday, and I will spend Friday of next week, Saturday, and Sunday setting up this loudspeaker here. My members from my website will get to see this speaker first, and then eventually you guys, my YouTube audience, will of course see it at some point down the road. So after that speaker departs at some point, whenever that is, I think I will certainly contemplate talking to PS Audio and perhaps having the possibility of bringing the PS Audio FR30 in here for an evaluation. Thank you, Curtis. Yeah, I liked it. He's still happy. His S3 MK2 system is amazing. Amazing system from Eric in New York. Amazing. Let me see. Thank you. Appreciate the factory tour, the magical factory tour. Seems like you guys loved it based on the comment section that I'm seeing. And by the way, let me tell you, it's if I could do it all over again, I will completely take it to a whole new level above what I did because I have better ideas. I'm getting more comfortable in front of the camera. I'm getting just a lot more loose. And one of the biggest things that I want to bring you guys when I do videos, and I'm so passionate by saying this, you guys can see the emotion is I want to bring entertainment. When I do an interview, I want to also have, you know, uh, I want to set the stage in a nice mood, a nice feeling. Like I want to make you also laugh about something I may have said. You guys saw it on the MBL video. The crowd was interacting with me, and there was a lady there very passionate about MBL loudspeakers. If you haven't seen that video, I urge you to check it out. So I was completely like, going back and forth with the audience, and even MBL, they put me on blast because of my previous comments about MBL, and I took it like a champ. I took the punch in the face like a champ. So people love to see that, and that's one thing I want to bring to the table. I want you guys to see me not afraid of admitting when I was wrong, and I do that front and center for you guys. I accept when I'm wrong in front of the camera. Boulder Factory Tour is something that I have been talking to Boulder about. Okay, Boulder is interested in bringing me on board. I believe the Boulder Factory Tour will happen this year at some point. And that is something that I do think in 2023 you will see here on my channel. I am completely on board to do something like that because I want to see how my amplifiers are built. So the Boulder Factory Tour is something that I absolutely want to do. Thank you, Gilbert. I appreciate the feedback. I'm glad you like my videos from the Florida Audio Expo. Yeah, I want to get some clients here in my lab. The problem is, they all of them live very far away from me. I don't have clients locally. South Florida is a horrible area for audiophiles. And when I mean South Florida, I mean like south of like West Palm Beach. Nobody cares about any of this. I play by myself, if I'm being honest. Tampa, they have a great audiophile club there. That Tampa area, Orlando, they do. But in South Florida, where I live, it's just horrible, guys. Just no audiophiles at this level. Yeah, Sid. So I plan to do more factory tours, Sid. The problem is, and I'm being honest with you guys because you guys want my transparency. For me to do a factory tour, in case you're a factory right now watching me, you guys cover my travel expenses. I do the legwork, you cover my travel expenses. So, to be sincere with you guys, okay, and I want to be honest because that's part of why you guys come to me. I do not do any factory tours for free. And what I mean for free is I don't go there, buy 2 plane tickets because I have to take my wife with me so she can be with the camera, hold the camera, and set up microphones, hotel, meals, and basically burn five, seven, $8,000 doing a factory tour and out of my pocket. It doesn't make sense. So to be sincere with you guys, if I do more factory tours, I will say it here: the manufacturer is covering my travel expenses. Okay, I do the work in exchange. They cover my travel expenses. That's the only way I'm doing a factory tour, and I'm keeping it real with y'all. Okay, so in case you hear different out and about, you should send this video to whoever is saying something else. No, I don't get paid an extra check for me for doing that. No, I'm talking travel expenses. Okay. I plan to do the Griffin Apex at some point, guys. The issue is, as I mentioned earlier, I have committed to this flagship loudspeaker that will be here next week. And all of my funds have been completely allocated to this loudspeaker. I could have bought the Apex last week if I had not already committed to this new loudspeaker. And unfortunately, right now, I am running pretty dry when it comes to my available funds to play with. And so I don't plan to buy any other loudspeaker anytime soon, other than the statement of flagship loudspeaker that will be here this coming weekend. Okay, so okay, I will ask. Okay, NBL's really they have a yeah. So Wilson does factory tours. I haven't spoken to Wilson about a factory tour because they do have Michael Fremer. He just did one. I don't think Wilson Audio would be interested in doing a factory tour with me. I could be wrong. Maybe they are interested. Maybe if you're Wilson Audio and you work at Wilson Audio and they're interested in having me there, do a factory tour, hey, feel free to reach out to me. My email is always in the description of the video. I would be down to do a Wilson Audio factory tour, no doubt. I actually would love to meet Daryl Wilson, to be honest with you. I will. If do I want to do a speaker setup a procedure? It depends, guys, because remember, there is like there's always like a rule of thumb, like how to set up a speaker. But I think every speaker has different requirements. For instance, MBLs they need to be away from any walls. Borisens they could be nearly next, like literally almost next to the wall next to them. They could be almost hugging the wall next to them, and they sound phenomenal. Panels that need to be out from the wall behind them. So it's hard to do like a generalization of how to place a speaker. I think it depends on the technology of the speaker. I have never heard Spectral, guys. I couldn't tell you how it compares to Griffin. Constellation is actually releasing. I heard word on the street is Constellation is releasing their new generation of amplifiers at Munich. So if I go to Munich, expect to see Constellation products on my channel. The speaker, am I looking for a speaker that does not exist? I've already had the best, but I'm still looking. Okay, I am looking to always elevate my last reference point. That's all I'm trying to do. I am not trying to compare my system to any other system. I'm only trying to beat my last best version. Okay, so if you're wondering, what am I trying to do? I'm only trying to better my own system, not trying to compare it against anyone else's. Boulder 866 have the same power as the M10X. Boulder 866, I loved it. It has plenty of power for me, in my opinion. How do I sell my used audio equipment? My used audio equipment gets usually sold through my own website, jayaudiolab.com, where I always have a lot of used audio gear. In case you are always looking for used audio equipment, um, feel free to always use my website. Go to the for sale section. You will find a lot of gear there that's listed for sale. Okay, so use my website as well to buy used audio gear. Well, this conversation about a magical A5 is in the shop. There's a magical A5 in the shop. Someone is saying it's 6 months old. They bought it new, and it was hinted you may have to pay for the repairs. Not too happy. Look, the reality is I don't really know what the criteria is when it comes to magical and how they bill someone for something that failed or was damaged and that should be under warranty. Okay, if you're wondering, I really don't know. I am assuming magical performs like surgery on the speaker and determines if it was user error or it was or simply something failed that shouldn't have failed. So I really can't comment as to why you may have to pay the repair of your magical 6 month old magical loudspeaker. I really don't know, to be honest with you. No, Sonos Fibers are great speaker. I love the Sonos Fiber Aida, guys. Sonos Fiber Aida 2, to be specific, is an amazing speaker. Amazing speaker. I have never heard Infinity speakers, but I have heard great things about the speaker. Avalon speakers, I just haven't had any interest on them. But again, look, I had no interest in TAD loudspeakers, and look what happened. I think you guys will see me beat my last system. What do you guys think, in your opinion, was my best system? Comment right now. Give me your opinion on what you think has been the best version of my system throughout the last 3 years. Let me see the comments. Right now, give me at a high level what you thought was mind boggling as far as performance. I know it's through YouTube. I get that. But type right now what you guys think is the best system I've had here in the room. Let me see what you guys say. Griffin with M6. Okay, great system. S7 with Boulder. Okay, S7 with Boulder. Magical S7 with Boulder Monos. Another vote for that. Let me see. Give me your comments on what you guys think is the best system you've heard in my room. S7 with Boulder. Again, another vote for that. Wilson Audio XLF. Okay. Focal and Boulder. All my systems are the best. I wish that was the case. Okay, so you guys love that S7 here with the Boulder Electronics, it seems like, huh? Seems like you guys were really, really loving that presentation. Okay, so you like the XLFs, the orange, big orange XLF Wilson Audios. The Maggie setup, okay, the 20.7s. Okay, got it. Griffin and the large Wilson, okay. Constellation, okay. Wilson XLF, look at that. A lot of votes for S7s. How funny. You guys are voting for the two orange loudspeakers I've had here. I'm getting more votes than any other speaker for the XLF and the Magical S7s. M6 gets another vote with Griffin. Okay, great. Well, if it helps you at all, I think this new flagship speaker that I will be getting my hands on next week will, on paper, theoretically, completely blow away anything I've ever owned. Completely take me to the promised land. Completely take me from traveling on the in the clouds all the way to the moon. Like, it's supposed to be really higher than anything else I've experienced in here. So if you think the S7, the M6, the XLF were the better presentations, the best presentations you've heard, I can assure you I am going to make your head roll on the floor soon. Yes, I'm back in the gym. I'm back. I actually, guys, I don't know why you guys keep asking me about me in the gym. I've only had one workout, which was 3 days ago, and that's it. I haven't really, I haven't even really been eating as much as I should be, or anything like that. But I will. I will then. I plan to venture a little more into analog components. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. You guys will see that. Um, I will do for the YouTube crowd. You guys will get to see. Of course, you guys will see my flagship speaker. It's just going to be more delayed because I have to share that first with my members, right? I know you guys get me. I know you guys understand that, right? But yeah, you guys will get to see the flagship speaker in March, which is already like 2 days away. So in March, late March, you guys will, middle of March, you guys will get to see that speaker. Totem speakers. I never really heard them. Maybe over at Munich, I will listen to them. I'll Arius Surat DAC. Yeah, I'm open to listening to that DAC. I have no problem trying that Arius Surat DAC. I mean, I hear things, in the industry, about Arius Surat, but I just haven't owned it. Let me see. What else do you guys want to know? Okay, so one of the things, let me see. One of the things you have to realize is with this hobby, okay, and again, I'm going to give you more feedback here, more information that you guys may not know is yes, of course, because of the level of work that I'm doing now, there's a lot more email, more traffic, requests. When I go to shows now, people want me in the room. They want me to, talk about the system. They want to accommodate me to listen to whatever I want to listen to. So I want to give the exhibitors, you know, a lot of love back for that. Kudos to all the exhibitors for always accommodating me and letting me hear whatever I want to listen to in their systems. um, and finally, I think my work is being acknowledged more than ever. But as you guys know, I can't choose every room as best of show. I can't choose every room as the best of the best. I can't do that, right? So I only have certain amount of time to go through the rooms and see which room really pulls me in. Every time I travel to a show, I try to do the best I can to give everyone a fair shot. And I understand sometimes systems tend to sound better from one day to the next. But that said, I want you guys to know one thing. Okay, when this video drops next week, this video will drop next week about the rooms that did not impress me at the show. Okay, I'm gonna make a video about that, but I want to give you guys a little more feedback, more information. Okay, please understand that when I rate a room as not impressive or a letdown, it's not necessarily the speaker, it's not necessarily the amps, it's the whole entire system. And sometimes it could be the room. So don't take those comments as Jay just said this room completely sucked and this speaker was terrible. It could be the room, it could be the positioning, it could be the electronics. There's too many variables. So when I go into a room, I give typically this room a fair shot, okay, at blowing me away or impressing me. But I can't sit there for an hour and a half listening. I mean, I only have a certain amount of time to walk through 70, 80, 90 rooms. So if I have 10 minutes to spend in a particular room and it hasn't done anything, even after I requested a song, I got to keep moving. Okay. I got to keep moving. I have not tried the DCS Apex upgrade yet. I have not. No DCS right now for me. Yes, so I want to say that's a very good comment. If I had an end game, there would be absolutely no reason for this, right? So when you guys see comments like this in the future on my videos, and someone is asking, when is this going to end? I would encourage you all to say to these people, if he ends his journey, there's more YouTube channels. So the point is that he continues to push through equipment, through gear, through components. That's the purpose of this channel. It's to have a never-ending game. Okay. At some point, everything gets sold. But if I find my end game, then what am I doing here? There's no reason to continue. Focal, you like the Focal Evils? Okay, Focal Stella Evils with Mephisto. Yep, that was a great system. Borison speakers are great speakers. The Wadax DAC, that's a very expensive DAC, guys. That's like, I want to say 200 grand for that DAC. It's a lot of money. I will not comment on what brand these loudspeakers are. Flagship loudspeakers, all I'm going to say is they are currently the flagship loudspeaker for this particular brand. Yeah, the hobby never ends. Awesome. Great. I'm glad to see you here, Shelly. Let me see. Boulder 3000 series monoblocks. I am running the 3000 series monoblocks. That's the amplifier that I currently have in the room. Yes. I think my Boulder 3000 monos would sound phenomenal with the Claris's auditorium loudspeakers. I did hear the Alexia V. Yeah, the Alexia V's. I heard him. Very tough conversation. I have a video that I made on my members only section about what I heard with regards to the Alexia V. Okay, so check that out when you have a moment. I have many different songs that I use to test. Many different ones. Typically, you will find those at this show. You'll hear a lot of the same songs. And by the way, guys, if you hear the same songs over and over and over again, trust me, it's boring even to me. I hate it. Believe me, I hate it with a passion. I don't want to repeat the same songs. But folks, I'm doing it because I have to listen to the same tracks through different systems to understand what got better or worse. It's hard to do that when I use different songs in different rooms. Okay. So this is why if you hear the same tracks over and over and over again, that is the reason for that, guys. Okay. Trust me, I get tired of the same songs too. My flagship loudspeaker will be driven by the Boulder 3050 monos. Cyril, travel expenses to go to Boston for a weekend, I really don't know. You would have to just email me. If you have any interest, perhaps, in bringing me to see your system, if you have any interest in, giving my opinion on your particular system, and you want to fly me to your hometown, or you want me to give you, another reference point, my reference point, you feel free to email me. Feel free to email me, and I'm sure we could put something together. The Acura acoustics were in a large room. I don't know if my room would be too big for that speaker. Maybe I should look at the $50,000 loudspeaker. It might be too big for my room. It might be. Yeah, this is why I do the same tracks, folks. Right? This is why I do the same tracks. Again, I acknowledge you and I try to comment as much as I can, right, on the videos. But I want to tell you guys, believe me, I get tired of playing the same songs too. And if I'm going to be honest here, I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to be honest here. I am going to be honest about something, okay? I don't listen to these tracks that you hear me play at shows all the time in here. There are songs that, quite frankly, I might be embarrassed to let you guys hear, and that you see me listening to them because of the backlash and the criticism that I would be exposed or be under. Like, I listen to music in here from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s that are not audiophile songs. I don't play audiophile songs 24/7. I get tired of those too. Audiophile songs primarily for me are to gauge, understand the system, its capabilities. But I don't like sit here for 5 hours listening to the usual songs that you hear at shows. I listen to, unfortunately, recordings that are not the best. Like, I like Fleetwood Mac. I like Santana. I like, I hate to admit it, but I like freaking Roxette from the 80s and freaking Cindy Lauper. I mean, I hate it. Madonna from the 90s, if I'm being honest with you. So this is the type of music that I listen to when I want to feel connected to my system, when I want to feel like I don't want to wear the analytical hat. I listen to music that I know isn't great as far as the quality. So there you have it. I'm being honest with you. Okay, so yeah, so I definitely want to tell you that I get saturated and I get tired of listening. Listen, as a matter of fact, I haven't heard my system in 7 days. I have not played my system in 7 days. I have been watching movies, editing the videos that you guys see at night. I edit those at night, and simply preparing for my next chapter, which is this new flagship speaker that will arrive here next weekend. So I have in my mind, it's kind of like I have this beautiful magical A5 here, and I have no desire right now to play with anything that I have in the room because my mind is already looking ahead at my next chapter, which is again this next speaker. So you guys are probably going to be like, wow, you haven't turned on your system. I haven't turned on my system. My mind kind of needs a break and I need to just enjoy something else. Sometimes washing my truck kind of and listening to headphones does it for me. And my system may not be connecting with me, or maybe I'm just a little saturated from overdoing it. So I just step away. That could be it. An ear cleanse. Yes, that could be a good way of putting it. Yes. What do I think about high-end ribbon loudspeakers? I love them. I mean, I freaking loved Magnapans. I mean, Magnapans are listen. I've owned two sets of Magnapans. For the money, it is the one speaker that will make you question why we spend more money in more expensive loudspeakers. The Magnapan speaker will always put that question mark in your head. No doubt. No doubt. They are, for the money, they're phenomenal Magnapan speakers. The only downfall is they're large and you need a lot of amplifier for them. Will I try a 2.1 system? I want to, Albert, at some point. The issue with my room, Albert, is I have too many things already. And so adding more components could be a little very complicated for me. I do want to do a 2.1 at some point, or or two subs in this case, 2.2. But it can get a little. I just think it might be a little too much for my system. And believe it or not, I get tremendous bass from my speakers in here. I hear all the bass. Now, is it going to be at the level of a subwoofer? It's not. It's never going to be. We know that. But I get enough impact. Yeah, I've heard Borison speakers. Yes, absolutely. I've heard about the show. Good speakers, great speakers. By the way, you guys were very critical of the Borison M1 loudspeakers. That video got wow, the commentary on that M1 $100,000 loudspeaker was like, I'm surprised. You guys were like, wow, you went to town as far as the comments. You guys were like, it's a snake oil. What does that speaker have inside? Does it have unicorn hair for installation? Like you guys were like, wow, like you were really attacking the M1 Boris and bookshelf speaker that currently MSRP's for 100 grand. Um, I think one of the things that has not been publicly said about Borison, and that I want to obviously give you guys a little more information on, okay, is the fact that the Borison loudspeaker, you know, it's impressed me in the past, no doubt. Okay, it's a very impressive speaker when you look at the size of those bookshelf loudspeakers and the presentation the soundstage they throw. It's actually like mind-boggling that they can do such an incredible presentation being so small. Okay, but I think one of the things, in my opinion, that has never been addressed or talked about, and maybe I'm the first person to say this here publicly. Um, I am starting to believe that in order to get a Borison speaker to really, really shine, to really blow you away, you have to get their ANZUS cables and their AVIC electronics. I feel like that is something that oftentimes goes overlooked at shows. You guys fail to see the electronics behind those speakers, the cabling, and all that plays a huge factor in the performance of these M1 or any bookshelf speaker or any speaker at all that Borison has. So it's a gut feeling that I'm sharing with you all. Maybe if you're in the market for a Borison speaker, you keep that in mind that the synergistic effect is key. But I feel like you should never overlook at what you should be buying for that speaker. And if I were to do a Borison speaker, I would say buy the matching cables, buy the matching preamplifiers and amplifiers that you see that. And then you have a recipe for success. When am I bringing the Apex with the Commander? I was supposed to bring the Griffin Apex a week ago. One is available to me. I spoke to Griffin. Griffin proceeded to tell me that yes, they will facilitate a Griffin Apex to me. So I have the opportunity to get one in here. But unfortunately, guys, as I mentioned earlier, my funds have been completely allocated to this next flagship loudspeaker. So I am right now financially pretty dry, believe it or not. I have to sell a lot of equipment that I have in here. I sold the Sasha DAWs because I needed the money to basically put towards the purchase of this next loudspeaker. Next week, I have to go into a local clinic to sell my left kidney so that I can hopefully get another $50,000 for that operation and pay off my next loudspeaker. I'm kidding. So, speakers that are eventually going to show up on my channel after this next loudspeaker will be a TAD loudspeaker or MBL or potentially this PS Audio FR30. You know, you guys have given me a lot of, I have gotten a lot of inquiries about this new loudspeaker from PS Audio, and I think it could be great for the channel. So maybe I will reach out to Paul to see how we can make this a reality. Okay. So maybe I think that speaker should be a good speaker to bring in here. Audio life. Why not use DSP? To be honest with you, it's just that it's a personal thing. I'm not going to criticize you if you like DSP in your system. I'm nobody to criticize if it works in your environment. Kudos to you, man. I just, I've never really had any interest. I just feel personally, my opinion, okay? You might feel different and I respect your opinion. I just feel that DSP room correction in a real two-channel setup has basically no value, no place in it. Again, if you feel different, I 100% respect your opinion. So yeah, Dave, I am thinking maybe I will do a cheaper membership at some point, just to give you guys a little more. I'm also going to be incorporating probably free videos. In case you do not know, I will say it here again. Another thing that I want to share: I interview past labs, and you guys know I have been very critical of past labs in the past. I have been very, very critical of past labs, right? But Past Labs was amazing and gave me an interview, which it already went live on my website. I am thinking of perhaps making that interview a free a free video on my website, jayaudiolab.com, on the members only page, so that you guys can see maybe a little different content for free. So maybe I'll start putting a couple of videos here and there on my website for you guys to see, or maybe like a more affordable membership. Yeah, I mean, Carlos, look, I understand why you feel that way about the Boris and M1 $100,000 loudspeakers. I mean, I get it. It's incredible. Like, it's a lot of money. I mean, but I'm nobody here. I'm nobody to tell you all how to spend your money. I am nobody to tell you anything like that. That's not my job. So it and this brings me to another point. Another point I want to make. Okay, if all you can afford, as an example, right? I'm going to give you an example. If you can afford, all you can afford is a $30,000 speaker, but then your buddy or someone that you know can afford a $100,000 speaker. You may say, that guy that bought the $100,000 speaker is an idiot because I got 90% of the performance for 30, right? And I'm happier and I feel like I saved $70,000. Point well made. Point taken. However, that person that bought the $100,000 loudspeaker that you just acknowledged is 10% better than yours feels that that 10% improvement is worth $70,000 more. So this is what you have to keep into perspective. Okay. We can't really tell others what that added improvement should be worth, right? Somebody may feel like 5% improvement is worth an additional $100,000. That's for each person to decide. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's extremely important that you guys understand those things, that every person has an agenda, every person has a different financial situation. And sometimes I see you guys attacking, and I was even attacked when I did this last video about the Odin One power cords with the fake Odin One $70 power cord. People were saying that I was the one who got scammed because I'm the one who bought the $10,000 power cord, and then the guy who bought the $70 power cord is the guy who's laughing to the bank. And that's okay. I respect that opinion, but I have to make sure you guys understand one thing, okay? The guy who buys the $70 power cord, okay? The guy who buys the $70 power cord may have never owned, probably never owned a $10,000 Nordis Odin One power cord, right? So when he says that power cord blows him away and that I am just nuts for saying that this power cord for $78 is trash and that I don't know what I'm talking about, I urge you to look at the fact that maybe this person who is saying that a $70 power cord is blowing his mind may not have the reference point that I have. So, and that's something that you guys always need to keep in the back of your head. Okay. So, when you hear that feedback from a person that has a $70 fake Nordis Odin power cord, I urge you to see, is he coming from a stock power cord? If he says yes, then yeah, it makes sense. You have to believe what he's saying, but he's never heard the real thing. And so please understand that it's all relative, guys. Okay. We are all here trying to build the best system we can within our budget. But I see it all the time where people are just enraged and mad at the fact that, you know, I do the extreme, or for instance, Michael Fremer has expensive things, expensive turntable setups, and people love to bash him for showing extremely expensive things. And I understand why you guys will feel frustrated. I get that. But I just don't feel like it's fair to hate on the guy or your neighbor who has a nicer house than you do, who has a nicer car than you do, and he's not doing anything wrong. He's not like selling drugs. He's not, doing anything illegal. So it's like, I don't see a reason to hate on the other person that's not doing anything wrong to you, that's not attacking you, that's not laughing at you, that's not making fun of the fact that you have less funds to afford something better. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't brought up that way. So maybe it's the way we are all brought up. Just don't feel it's cool. You know what I mean? So I know I'm going to take a lot of heat for my next flagship speaker. I know this. I can already hear people saying, I'm out of here. I'm so unsubscribing. This is ridiculous. That kind of money for that speaker. I'm gone. I am already expecting that, but I'm addressing it before it happens. Don't hate, just be part of the journey. Just enjoy the ride. I've given you all affordable stuff. Now I'm going to take it to a whole new level. That's all. And then in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I'll take it back down again and bring something affordable. So just ride with me. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but you're right. What the comment that I'm reading, haters are going to hate. I suppose so, man. I don't understand like why, sometimes I see these huge bad, comments and just, damn, wow, it just amazes me to see some of this stuff. I've been trying to bring the Sonos Faber Aida 2s, guys, but unfortunately, folks, it's been a mission to get anything from Italy. Yeah, look, thank you. You guys are getting my point across. You guys understand that you don't hate, you don't get angry if someone has something more expensive or better. Listen, I didn't, and I'm going to make a video about this. How is it that I'm able to afford this next loudspeaker? What is it that I'm doing? Okay, because I'm telling you guys right now, this next speaker will make my entire system be $1 million exactly. Okay, so you guys are going to be asking me, how is it? I'm going to be making a video about that. How is it that I'm able to do this? KB, look, your whole system, you're saying your whole system is about the cost of one power core of mine. It's fine. I mean, and I'm not here to make fun of what you can or cannot afford. To me, that's so immature to laugh at others that have less than you. You never know when you're going to have less. Life is crazy. Today you have, tomorrow you don't. So, I think we should just all share our, knowledge and opinion, and try to help each other out, not argue or use this as means to separate ourselves and create barriers, man. We have too much of that around the world. It's crazy. Hey, Carlos, and and I appreciate you thinking I make audio magic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And by the way, when I throw numbers at you guys, if I'm throwing numbers at you like $1 million system, okay, I want to say something to you. Okay, I don't it I don't take it as I am bragging about that. No, sometimes, in case you don't know, when you put those numbers in the title of a video, the algorithm of the video, it generates more views, right? So I'm not doing it to brag. It's just that numbers or extreme things make videos be actually in front of people's faces more and more and more and more, allowing you to grow. So I want you to understand that, okay? Yes, when you put a number, it may sound like you're cocky, conceited, you're this, you're that. I understand how that comes off, but I also want you to see that it's a YouTube channel, and my goal is to grow more and more and more. So I know when I throw numbers, people will click to see what this is, right? That's all it is. You really think, I mean, honestly, I know you guys, those of you who met me at the show, if you're here, you can comment right now on this video. I had people coming up to me at the show telling me to my face, telling me to my face, you know what, Jay? I disliked you on video. I didn't have any love for you, but I've seen the work you've done. I was part of this video you did in this room. I was in the crowd, saw you, and I have a whole newfound respect for you. You have gained yourself a subscriber. Like, I realize that what's in front of the camera is not really the person that they are, like whoever is in front of the camera. And I understand now better your mission objective and what you're about. I have been told this all the time. Like, I'm not the a-hole that's going to come out and laugh at what you've got. I would never do that. I would never, as a matter of fact, people that know me know I would never do that, because I never know when I may be on that same side of the fence. I would never laugh. It's not in my nature. It's not in my DNA. I'm never here to belittle what you guys can afford. Believe me, you would never get that type of commentary, that type of feedback from me. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're attacking me and you're bashing me and you really are after me, eventually you're going to start pushing buttons that you should not be pushing, and things will fly out of my mouth. Okay, because at some point I have to defend myself. Okay, but you will never get that type of comments about your system just because. I don't do that. That's not who I am. I can't say if this flagship speaker is American or European. All I can say, it's a top model for a current brand, and it is a speaker that MSRPs more than any speaker you saw at the Florida Audio Expo. I have to be humble because I didn't get here. I wasn't born into money. I wasn't born into like success. I wasn't born with like I didn't have a Nissan, a 300 ZX Nissan in 1990 to go to high school. I took the bus like everybody. I didn't have any of that. I ate free lunch at my high school, provided by the school system. I didn't have like money like that. I don't. People think I was born into money, guys. I was never born into money. Normal guy, normal family, great friends, great cousins, and I just happened to find my niche, and work hard at it every day. Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you for being there in the UK. Hopefully, I can meet you guys someday. Feel free to share my videos over there, whatever websites you're visiting in the UK. Shout outs to everyone who's in the UK who watches me and everyone else around the world. Someone from Latvia. Wow, I didn't know I was there in Latvia, actually creating impact. As a matter of fact, if you ever have a chance to come to a show and you want to talk about audio and you want to be there to ask me any questions, guys, I'm an open book. You can do that with me. Okay. Yeah, there will be times in which it's very difficult because I'm in the middle of like evaluating certain rooms, but I'm sure that you can find time and I can give you time to answer your questions. That's number one. Okay. But going back to my earlier point, I wasn't born into money. People think, what people think? People think I played football. People think this guy played football or he's a professional athlete at some point. Never, never. I just worked out for 25 years, right? And what I was going to say is, you know, I have been just a hard worker every single day, three, four jobs, grind, 6 a.m. until 11 p.m., almost 7 days a week. That's who I am, right? And this is how I was able to afford all this stuff. But it's not because I sued somebody. It's not because I won the lottery. It's not because I have an elite career. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have a career that makes me a tremendous amount of money. Guys, it's been a grind for 13 years. 13 years, day in, day out, buying something, playing with it, selling it, hopefully make a little bit of money to afford the next item above that. Do the same thing with that item, moving on to the next one. Play with that one, listen to it, and then look for the next item that I may want to try. 13 years leads up to this next flagship loudspeaker. Okay. That's how I got there. So it hasn't been handed to me. I don't have like checks in the mail. I don't. The reason why I create my members only section, and I know some of you guys are very critical of this because you guys feel like I am charging you for this. Guys, I have been doing YouTube for free for 3 years, guys, for free. And finally, after giving to you guys for 3 years, I thought, you know what? I have more content to give, but I know there are some folks out there who do not mind to, help my efforts. And so I created the membership for those people. It's not mandatory, right? The reason why I did that is see what I just said. 13 years of working at on my craft, creating a niche and finding ways to create streams or revenue, and it's all to be invested back into my journey and my system, right? This is why these different things are part of me: the consultation service, the members only section, and the YouTube channel, which quite frankly, it's not paying me a lot of money. Okay, the YouTube channel, but I'm here. So all this money that you guys are seeing, that the membership, this and that, plus my regular job that I'm very liable for and I'm very, very appreciative of, okay, is how I do what I do. Okay, that's how I get the components that I have. That's how I'm able to do this. I did it. All of you guys can do it. Every single person right now watching me, watching this, I'm telling you because I've done it. I came from, and hopefully, this video that I will be releasing on this new flagship speaker will be a video that it will resonate with you. Okay. I started with Martin Logan, $1,000 speakers, Martin Logan, 13 years ago. Bought a lot of like, I think it was Emotiva or Parasound, used Parasound components, Rotel components, OnCure receivers. I started with that stuff, guys. And all I have done is worked for 13 years doing this day in, day out with no YouTube channel. If I would have started my YouTube channel a decade ago, I would have far more subscribers. But I wasn't thinking about this because my initial intention wasn't to make it what it is today. I was simply playing, enjoying my time, playing music, and then be, selling it, and then wow, I'm excited because now I'm going to buy the model above it, which has more power, and make it, maybe I'm going to like that amplifier better. Bought the next amplifier, played with it, and then sold it, and then something else showed up that I'm like, wow, this brand seems pretty curious. I'm pretty curious about this brand. Let me buy that. Maybe I like it better. Bought it, sold it. Then this is how it got here. So everything that I own here, okay, is because of my hard work and dedication. I must say that, okay. But if I did it, guys, so can you. So can you. I am nothing special. I'm just a dude who works hard 24/7. And I'm passionate about what I do, and I share this experience with you. Thank you for giving me props on my Florida audio show coverage. It means a lot to me. I'm thankful to those of you who have seen the production value of the last of my factor of my Florida audio show coverage. Really, really appreciate you guys thinking that was amazing coverage. It means a lot to me. I No, I'm not planning to cover the show in California, guys, because I have to be strategic about this. As I said to you, I do have a job that I have to be responsible for and appreciative of. Um, so I have to kind of like pick my shows depending on how much work I have, what I have going on, whether I can take time off of work or not, or maybe if I can't, hit the ground running, land there on a Friday afternoon, cover the show Friday, Saturday, and fly back on Sunday to be ready to work on Monday. Sometimes that's what happens. Thank you, Reinhardt. I appreciate all the comments. Um, Thank you. I'm pretty much just opening up to you guys right now, letting you all know that I am not this prick who wants to make fun of what you have because I am a baller. And I'm none of that, guys. I'm none of that. Everything I own, as I mentioned, I have earned it working hard, building, buying, selling, herniating my back. I mean, you name it. Okay. Never forget all the herniations I have on my back due to lifting of a lot of these components. So, but I did it. So I feel like anyone here can do it. I am in contact with Crazy Mike. Yeah, absolutely. Mike, OCD Mikey. Yes. Thank you for being here, everyone. Let me see. I do want to go to Munich, like I said, guys, but it's a very expensive trip because my wife wants to go. She wants to go to Munich, and of course, guess what that means? My 6-year-old daughter has to come. So it's a very difficult conversation to have because it is a long trip, and the jet lag, the amount of time off that is needed to really appreciate the show, plus how expensive it is to cover all these plane tickets. I have to really think about it. If I want to do Expona, then I may not do Munich. But if I want to do Munich, I may have to skip Expona. And so it's a very difficult thing. And remember, these shows, I don't get anything. I go with my own money. Okay. So these are my own travel expenses. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you liking what I do. Appreciate you guys giving me this absolutely amazing feedback about my coverage of the Florida Audio International Expo. That lets me know you guys are noticing me, and that's all I want is for you guys to notice me. So you guys acknowledge the work I put in. That's all I can ask for. Liking the videos and literally just subscribing when you see that type of coverage. That's all I can ask for. That's the only job you guys have to do for me. Nothing else. Yes, I did do a private audition of the TAD loudspeakers as well. Yes. Um, Thank you. Appreciate that. I do have a Hi-Fi Rose 150B. I do have that, guys. But every time I'm planning to put together the pieces for a review, something happens in the middle of it. Bam! And right now, I'm trying to get my ducks in a row for this next loudspeaker. And guys, so that's going to happen next weekend. And Yeah, so it's getting, I'm getting a little anxiety because I have to start moving a lot of pieces from the room out the way, perhaps put them in storage to make space for the massive crates that are going to be arriving next week. And it may be a full day, 3 full days of work, 3 full days of work to get these things together, to get everything, all the pieces, all the logistics, the manpower that I need. I need to hire 2 men to come and help me to lift all this stuff, to uncrate things. So they are, already, they're going to be with me those 2 days. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, guys. The biggest production ever for me will be next weekend, by far. Let me see. Hi-Fi Rose. Yeah, no, I want to hear the Zellaton speakers at Munich. I want to hear Martin loudspeakers. I want to hear the Alsavox in Germany. I want to hear the Griffin Apex with the Griffin loudspeakers. The big loudspeakers. I forget the name. And of course, I want to discover brands that don't have any opportunity in Germany. I want to be able to discover things and then highlight them to you, to let you guys know what I think about it. Like, how good are they? How bad are they? If there's anything out there that impresses that perhaps has zero representation in the United States and maybe even around the globe. So that's one of the things why, that one of the reasons why I want to get out to Munich, Germany. One of the biggest reasons is to find new things. Thank you. I'm glad you like the songs I picked, but I do get tired of the same songs as I mentioned earlier. But I have to keep using the same songs at shows so that you guys can hear and listen. Hopefully, pick out the differences. Yeah, Magnapans. I said it. Amazing speakers for the money. I don't know. I mean, Borison is up. It's Borison. Is an amazing, speaker. It's just obviously, like I said earlier, like I think you guys may need to really look at the entire ecosystem. It's not just the speaker, it's the cables that they produce as well as their electronics. So I said it earlier in this video. Make sure you guys who are just joining in right now watch the entire video. Okay, there's a lot of information I've just articulated. But yeah, you when you buy a Borson speaker, you may have to buy their whole entire, you know, ecosystem. Well, any flagship speaker is going to be heavy. Let's keep it real. So, when I say I am bringing a flagship speaker from a particular brand next weekend, okay, it's going to be a heavy speaker, regardless of the brand. So, the fact that the speaker is heavy is that's no secret. It should be automatically assumed that it is going to be a heavy speaker. No, I am not familiar at all with ATC loudspeakers from the UK. I've heard about them somewhere, but I haven't really spent time with ATC loudspeakers. I can't say where the speakers are from. My new speaker is so if I say where they're from, you guys are gonna nail what it is. So I can't say where they're from. I want you guys engaged with me. So when that releases, you guys are tuning in, ready to watch that video. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. I'm glad you found my life story interesting. Much appreciated. And let me see. Yeah, no, I want to share more things about me to you all, but remember, I always have to draw a line as far as how much I need to share with you guys. Is okay. There's a lot of crazy people out there, so I need to really use filters and really select how much of me I should share with you guys. I gave you a little bit about me as far as like how I got here, at this level with this level of electronics, and I think a lot of you guys could do what I have been doing for the last 13 years. Boulder, no, Boulder is not coming with new products, but I heard Hagel is releasing a new flagship power amplifier to go against the big heavy hitters like the Boulder 2160, the Griffin Apex, the Griffin Mephisto. I heard Hagel is releasing a new flagship amplifier. I just don't know if it will be right now at the at this Expona 2023 or in Munich, Germany. But you guys have been warned. Hagel is coming out with a brand new expensive power amplifier. Oh, I blocked the haters. Don't worry, Dave. Yeah, I heard Muir audio speakers. Good speakers. Good speakers. It's been a long time since I heard Muir audio speakers from Canada. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words, Reinhard, about me doing what nobody else is doing. It means the world to me. I really appreciate your comment on that. Yeah, I've been told that if I go to Munich, I need a lot of time, and because I've never been there, I am expecting to be there at least 4 or 5 days, just looking at everything. Esoteric Grandioso or 860 A version 2. I have never heard the Esoteric Grandioso S1 power amp. What I can tell you is the 860A version 2 from Sim Audio is easily one of the best amps I've heard at that price point. No doubt. It's a great amplifier, the 860 version 2. Thank you. Appreciate you liking my hi-fi the coverage of the Florida audio show. I'm glad you guys are liking that coverage. Really liked. There's more content to come this week, by the way. Just in case you're just joining the party right now, there is a video with the president and CEO of TAD Laboratories, and there's also another room that I will be showing, which is the best room under 100K. Everything included under $100,000. Okay, so you guys are gonna like those two videos coming up real soon. Thank you. Appreciate you thinking that nobody else is doing what I'm doing. I really, really appreciate you feeling that way. It means a lot to me. Much appreciate that. Much appreciate that type of support, guys. My video on the Alexia V, it's it's a great speaker, but it's just like I said to you, what I heard, I don't know. I really don't know how to articulate it. Okay, maybe at some point I'd say can't really say much. Let's just keep it that way. Yeah, Munich may require a translator. Well, if that happens, I have a phone that can translate, I think. Coda amplifiers have been amplifiers that people have talked to me about for a long time. Coda amplifiers, people keep telling me they're amazing amplifiers. Unfortunately, I haven't had the pleasure of owning them. They are based out of California. I believe they used to work for Pass Labs and they went away. They branched out and created this brand called Coda. Just haven't had a moment, to be honest with you. I'm just running 100 miles an hour all the time. I heard the Rotel Michi M8, but I feel like it's probably too bright. I don't know. Maybe it was the cables they were using. I could be wrong, but maybe at some point I bring those monos in here. Maybe that's a good amplifier. Thank you for asking about that. I think the Michi would be great content for a lot of folks. That and the PS Audio loudspeaker, I think, could be two components that I might incorporate at some point here on my channel. I think a lot of people will be interested in knowing my thoughts about those two. Okay, so PS Audio, if you're watching this, I am going to be sending you an email see how we can hopefully make something happen in the near future with your new loudspeakers. I really would love to try and hear them in my environment with my electronics to see what they are, doing, what you guys are, doing out there. I heard great things about them, so I just want to kind of get my own opinion, form my own opinion. Okay. Pillion amplifier. Pillion amplifiers. I almost bought a pair. I heard them at the factory, at the Magical Factory. Unfortunately, it's hard to know how much the amplifiers contributed to the sound of the M9s. Okay, so I don't have any information, any like opinion form when it comes to Pillion audio. Unfortunately, I can't help you there. Yeah, I mean, Hagel 390 against the Michi M5 integrated. That would be a great, great shootout, guys. I think so. I think that would be a great, great shootout. I just, don't really have any connections right now for that Rotel brand. I haven't tried to find anyone, to be honest, either. So that's another thing. Sir William Vega speakers. I used to have a pair of Sir William Vega speakers when I was in the military, actually, believe it or not. That's one of the speakers I used to own, Sir William Vega. Long time ago, back in the 90s, they had these red woofers on them. I remember that. Yeah. So pretty bass heavy speakers. So Serwin Vegas, I remember those. That was a brand from the 90s, man. Remember that brand. Um, let me see. M9's Citizen flagship. Let me see. I'm looking at something else. Someone else posted something. Appreciate again, guys, all the support you guys are giving me, saying that nobody's doing what I'm doing. I see more comments like that, and it really touches me. It means the world to me. I'm trying hard to essentially distinguish myself, from cover from the show coverage. I want to do something different and really cool and polished. And listen, what I do, guys, you guys know what I do is not easy. Being in front of the camera, interviewing a lot of these manufacturers, right? Asking questions that a lot of people may not even dare to ask, but I ask them, and they are answering me. And so, I want to say that when you see different YouTubers, remember everyone has their own style. Some of them love to walk into a room with their phone and take footage of the speakers, and then put that on YouTube, and that's fine. I just want to do a lot more work for you guys. I want to put more production value for y'all. I want to do something more polished. I still got a long way to go, but if you look at my channel 3 years ago and look at it today, you guys can for sure see an improvement across the board with what I've been doing. And so, as long as you guys see me grow and understand that, what, Jay used to be here and now his production value is quickly ramping up. I see him more engaged. I see him in front of other, manufacturers doing coverages that nobody else is doing. That's all I need. That's all I need. I have found my niche when it comes to coverage. And I think that I am only going to get better, eventually, hopefully make enough money from this to even bring someone else with me to edit the stuff faster and to just hold the mics and put the camera better and follow me and do better transitions. That's my dream, is to be able to pay someone to just help me out with the production value. Audio vector speakers, I think I may have heard them, but I don't recall it, to be honest with you. Um, So Macintosh speakers, yeah. I mean, listen. At some point, I may get a pair of 901s. I mean, I think there's someone interested in trading me in their 901 monos, Macintosh monos, and I would love to get them on trade and then evaluate them here. They look beautiful, no doubt. But it's been a long time since I heard Macintosh, so I would love to hear those Macintosh 901s. I think it would be great for the channel too. Piega impressed me one time with this driver that they have. It sounded very clear, very clear. I was very impressed with the Piega speaker. I believe it was last year at, like, I want to say it was Expona last year. Trying to, but it's very hard, Dave, when you run a business and you're trying to be objective when it comes to your position and how you feel different brands, um, you know, what they bring to the table. Essentially, it's very hard sometimes, Dave. It's very hard to draw the line between both. But I'm trying my hardest. Who? Let me see. Yeah, it's a very interesting, thing, because there is a lot, guys. There's a lot, guys, that goes into a production. Like, if you think about it, right, just having someone hold the camera and moving with you as you move around the speaker and follow you, that's a person, right? That's paying somebody. And I hate to say this to you, but if I give the camera to somebody at the show, they're not camera experts, so they are shaking the camera, doing this, and not knowing when to zoom in, not to zoom out, and so the video comes out really crappy. So that doesn't help me either. So it's difficult, it's difficult, and you guys need to know that to create nice polished video, it takes at least two people, one cameraman and then the person talking. And so I have a lot of hurdles to overcome. One of them being that having someone else to help me out. And unfortunately, at shows, people are there to enjoy the madness, and I'm in no position to tell someone, stop doing what you're doing, help me with the camera. So I do what I can, and I think I've done pretty good, considering the fact that I'm the only person setting up the camera and standing in front of it, setting up the microphones for me and the manufacturer that I'm interviewing, and then asking the questions and coming ready. and prepare for the interviews. Appreciate you thinking my coverage of the Florida audio show was the best. Really means a lot to me, guys. When you guys feel that way, makes me want to. Now you put more pressure into making my coverage of the next show even better. And so when you guys acknowledge me like that, telling me that I was the best coverage at the show, now I feel like I want to work harder for you guys, much harder. I have never heard anything about condo, unfortunately. Never. Um, Never really. I've heard it mentioned, never really heard it, never even seen it, to be honest with you. So, yeah. So that's my take on that. Let me see. No, when I go to my next show, I will do a couple of more like live commentary reviews of speakers because I think you guys enjoyed it. I just got to find the right angle and the right microphone settings. But please keep in mind that these are done with a mono wireless here, right? Like a lavalier. So what the microphone is picking up is my voice and the music, but it's in no way, shape, or form a stereo presentation. Okay, so it's just for you guys to hear the song that's playing in my comments. Okay, just keep that in mind. All right. Zeloton speakers, I've never heard them, so that would be a speaker that I want to hear over in Germany. I have once custom sound, never heard that. No, no, never heard that once. One's custom sound, never heard that brand before. First time I'm hearing that brand. Wow, there are so many brands around the globe that you guys keep throwing at me that I'm like, what is this? Should I look at it? But there are so many things out there that have absolutely zero exposure here in the United States. And it's incredible, guys. It's incredible. I've already spoken about Sonos Faber, amazing, beautiful looking speakers. If I were to pick a Sonos Faber speaker for me, it would be the Sonos Faber AIDA 2. However, it's been a difficult process for me to put my hands on an AIDA 2. I will say that, guys, it's been hard for me, but at some point it may become a reality. Any of these speakers that you saw at the last show, whether it be MBL, Acora Acoustics, Claris's panels, or TAD loudspeakers, any of these could potentially make an appearance here in my lab. But what I said earlier, repeat again, the next speaker you will see will be neither one of those. Neither one of those will make an appearance. It's a different speaker that was not at the show and that is more expensive than any loudspeaker at the show that I just attended that I had already committed to buying a month ago. And so I had already given a deposit. And if I had not done that, then I probably would have brought either an MBL or perhaps the TAD loudspeaker next. One of those two would have been my next speaker. Yes, the Audio Vector R3 were amazing. Yes, they were amazing speakers. Yeah. And so soon, follow me. Follow me because you are going to see what I thought, even myself, by the way, I never thought I could do this. When I put my hands on these speakers at least 2 years ago, I put my hands on these speakers on this particular model 2 years ago. And I looked at it and I said, it must be nice to be able to afford one of these speakers. I looked at it and I'm like, wow, it must be nice. It must be nice to be able to afford this, right? Little did I know that somehow the universe was going to arrange itself and put me in position to afford one of these speakers. And that's what's happening. And that's really the message of this next purchase. That's really what I want it to be about is that you guys can do the unthinkable as long as you put your mind and you're aligning your thoughts to accomplish whatever it is that you're setting out to do. And that's really something that is quite important, in life. And in this case, I'm manifesting this through audio and through my next loudspeaker purchase. Right? So let me see. Title, it would be a great speaker to have in the on my channel. Unfortunately, I haven't heard enough Title. I heard it maybe twice, but I haven't. I thought it was great, but I probably haven't really explored that opportunity, that direction, on my channel with Title speakers. Focal Sopra 2s are great speakers. Just make sure you get the right electronics for them and the right cables, okay? Or they can get bright. I'm telling you. Make sure you get the right cables, the right electronics for the speakers. It's so important that you know exactly the direction in which you're going. This is why I have a consultation service. Because, and again, I don't mean to like sound like a salesperson, but I know some of you guys are going to say that I am. This is something that I didn't have in my arsenal when I was coming up, when I was building my systems. I didn't have any help, qualified help. And so I found myself buying and selling so much gear and losing money at times, trying to assemble a system and eventually getting frustrated and just selling things at a loss because I didn't have anybody to talk to. Right. So now that I have done the work, this is why I provide this service so that you can ask me all these questions and I can give you my educated opinion on your next steps. What amplifier, what preamplifier, what cables, whatever it is that you're going to buy next, that I can just kind of make that margin for error that much smaller, minimizing your losses. That's something that has never been given to us in the past. And I am giving you my opinion based on my own experience, my journey, not by reading books. This is based on ownership, okay, of such products. So when I assemble system combinations, and there is a Word document on my website actually that has all the best system combinations I've had, where I'll say use synergistic cable with this speaker brand, with this power amplifier, with this stack, and then I'll tell you this speaker brand goes well with this, and that. These are the pairings that have worked for me. I have all these notes on my members section of my website. And this is a service that I don't think anyone else is providing. And so if you're in the middle of spending $15,000 for a pair of speakers, but you're afraid of like, wow, what happens if I buy these speakers, but my amplifiers just are not good enough for it? I'm going to lose 5 grand to get rid of them because now they're used and I'm buying them new. Stop doing that. This is why I provide the service so that you don't have to do that and lose a lot of money. YG acoustics are definitely a speaker that I would say has my interest, just like Von Stryker does too. And I have had brief conversations with Von Stryker about a potential partnership as far as bringing a pair of their $20,000 speakers in here in the room. But unfortunately, again, I've already committed to something else for now. But there might be an opportunity, with Von Stryker or YG Acoustics for sure. Well, why not the TADs? As I mentioned to you guys, the TAD CR1s are great speakers, but I had already committed to a speaker before I got to the show. So what I said is, once I get done with this next flagship loudspeaker, you will eventually, at some point, see a TAD or an MBL or even an Acora Acoustics loudspeaker on my channel. I just don't know when, but I think I am very interested in trying, anything out of those brands. Who are my favorite YouTubers on affordable hi-fi? I mean, honestly, you know, on affordable hi-fi, I don't even follow affordable hi-fi, to be honest with you, and it's not a knock against it. I'm not trying to throw shade at YouTubers that cover that. I like Jay from Canada. I met him at the show. Really cool kid, man. Awesome, personable guy. We talked a lot about the industry. We talked a lot about YouTube and the difficulties with YouTube and the revenue from YouTube and really cool dude. And then and he's grown because quite frankly, man, he's putting in the work, man, and he has a job too. I mean, Jay from Canada, he has a job. I mean, the guy is employed, gainfully employed, and he's hustling doing YouTube as well. So he's kind of doing what I'm doing, and I respect him. He's a young guy and he's hungry. So I wish I had started when I was younger. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that feedback again about the coverage of the show. A lot of that has been really well received, and that's all I could ask for. Yes, Von Strikers are definitely on my radar at some point. I think I will bring him here. Um, it's timing, guys. A lot of times it's the timing of speakers, right, and the electronics and everything. But I think I need to evaluate Von Striker. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree. I think Title deserves a shot as well. MBL deserves a shot. All of these brands that I have been hyping over the last few days or the past week or so, I do believe they all have my number, and I would love to see how far I can take them in my room with my electronics, my different things that I have here, my cable line. I want to see how far I can take them. I think it would be a phenomenal thing to do. Absolutely phenomenal thing, to do. That's the truth. If I could do it, if I had different listening rooms, oh my God, I would be. I was thinking it would take me to have another YouTube channel of affordable gear in a different room or a different location, and that it gives me enough revenue from doing the work for me to quit my job. That's the only way I could quit my job. Because to be transparent with you, in case you really don't know, and I know you guys love it when I give you this information, YouTube doesn't pay me enough to support what I do. It doesn't. Quite frankly, the money that YouTube pays me every month, okay, is enough for, paying my video editor when he does my videos, and perhaps covering like my electricity here in the room for all the amplifiers that I have here. So YouTube and all this legwork is not giving me enough, and it's no fault to YouTube because every other YouTube is going through the same hurdle. So I'm just saying to you, YouTube is not giving me enough to sustain what I do. So this is why I created the membership. And to be transparent, the memberships are giving me more monthly income than YouTube is. Think about it. And I've been doing YouTube for over 3 years, and my memberships are already giving me more monthly than YouTube is. Yeah, the room size is always a problem, guys. No question about it. I mean, the room, absolutely. My electric bill, I would say is about total. This is for the whole house, so it's hard to say how much is coming from the room. I would say it's about $450 a month. If it's the summer and it's hot, the AC is blasting for longer, it could easily be $550 a month. I'm glad you like my Acora acoustics coverage. Thank you, man. I appreciate you thinking. All the things you're articulating on your, on the comments. Appreciate it. My speakers are not. My speakers can be, but my amplifiers can draw a lot of power, guys, when I run them. So, as I said to you guys earlier, I have not used my speakers, my entire system, I should say, over the last 8 days, 9 days. I haven't heard anything. I haven't been motivated to listen to it. I think it's because I heard a lot of good stuff at the show, guys. I think that's why I heard amazing things at the show. The show was like phenomenal, phenomenal. And so I came home not wanting to listen to my system. Can you believe that? I came home not wanting to listen to my system because I love everything I heard. A lot of the things, not everything, but a lot of the things I heard at the show. So I appreciate it. Enlightened Audio, thank you for your comment there about my coverage of the Florida audio show. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I spoke to the distributor, Fred, about the Horizon DAC, the Lampensator Horizon, and him and I had a conversation, a one-on-one, about the possibility of me bringing the Lampensator Horizon in the room at some point. I would love to experience another DAC. I have been using MSB for quite some time, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with MSB. But I think at some point, I would love to hear a Horizon DAC in here to see what attributes it brings to the table. I've heard nothing but exceptional things about the Horizon. So the distributor, the U.S. distributor, and I are in talks about making that a possibility in the future. Okay, so yeah, I mean, don't be shocked if you see the Horizon deck at some point in here. Denafrips products, I have never really tried, guys, so I couldn't comment on them, unfortunately. Okay, couldn't comment on them, unfortunately. So I haven't gotten that low as far as price points. Although I think for my membership, for my subscribership, would be great. Yeah, Sarat, Area Sarat DAC is awesome. Someone said is awesome. Okay, yeah, I have no reason not to believe you. No reason not to believe that that DAC is good or it's not good. I mean, it should be because it's very pricey, right? So yeah. Any integrated amp idea yet? No, the only integrated amp I have right now is my Boulder 866. I don't have any other integrated coming in anytime soon. So for the future, yes, I plan to bring a couple of more. I just don't know what they are yet. OCD Mikey's DAC. I mean, if he decides to send me one, I wouldn't mind trying it and see how it does in my system. Someone is saying, since watching my YouTube channel, their stereo system is the best it's ever been. I opened up his mind to a lot of different ideas and obviously to the high end. Appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much for that comment. Try hard to give back as much as I can. Another great comment on my coverage of the Florida Audio Show. Well, boy, you guys are really just incredible today with me. Thank you for acknowledging my work. As I mentioned, there will be two more interviews coming out this week that starts tomorrow. So that includes Tad's CEO, current CEO of the company. I interviewed him, and also you will know whether Andrew Jones had something to do with the design of the speaker or not. The DACs built into the flagship modern receivers today is at 50% of what the best DACs are. I don't know, guys. I mean, receivers, it's been a minute since I've used a receiver. It's been a while, I would say. It's kind of hard for me to say how good those DACs are, but I have no reason to believe that they're crappy. They have to be good DACs. I mean, especially if you stick to like really good receivers, real good brands. I'm assuming receivers are keeping up with DAC technologies. I just don't think they're overbuilt like a standalone DAC, but I have no reason to believe that an internal DAC within a receiver is a bad DAC as long as the receiver is not like $500. But yeah, appreciate you guys. More great comments on my coverage. More great comments. Really appreciate all this. I have never heard Dali course yet, but if I go to Munich, I gotta hear that speaker. Gotta hear that speaker. I am planning to attend Expona, but I have no reservations yet. I am waiting for an email back from one of the organizers to see if there is a room available for me at the venue because it makes things a lot easier when I stay in the venue of the show. Boulder 1160, 1110, amazing. I personally like Boulder. I have nothing but great things to say about Boulder, not because I own it, but because they are great and reputable, great company to work with, pretty easy to deal with. They're always there to answer your questions, and their components are pretty reliable components. Sound Labs, you know what? It's been a minute since I heard Sound Labs. I really, it's hard for me to form an opinion, Jay, about Sound Lab speakers. To be honest with you, I need to really listen to them again. Did I hear B and O? No, I did not hear B and O. comparing a Paslabs INT 250 versus the Boulder 866 integrated, that's a tough one, man. I would have to have both in here. I think both of them are phenomenal. Of course, the Paslabs probably will have more power. It's a bigger integrated, but I don't know as far as the sound. I am going to assume here that Paslabs might be warmer and Boulder might be clearer sounding, but this is strictly an assumption here. Will I be reviewing the Griffin Apex? That is the plan. Griffin has agreed to send me a Griffin Apex. I emailed them a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago or so. And so the Griffin Apex, yes, I promise you it will happen. Things are getting delayed now due to the new flagship speaker that will be on my channel over the next few weeks. And so I need a lot of my money to go into that purchase, which is a lot of money, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm kind of pumping the brakes right now with the Griffin Apex. Yes, that is true. Focal works really well with tubes and audio with Ocuface electronics as well as Boulder gear. Boulder and Focal sounds amazing, by the way. Amazing, amazing electronics. The combination is phenomenal. Boulder and Focal is incredible. All right, let me see what else do we got. I have never heard the Block Audio shelf block speaker. Unfortunately, I have not. I think I heard it actually briefly in 2019, I want to say, but it was like, it was a bad show. It was a bad room, to be honest with you. Do I think that US made amps tend to boost the low frequencies more than European ones? No, I don't think so, Carlos. I don't think they tend to. I think it's up to the designer, each designer, amplifier designer, to decide the sound they're shooting for. Yeah, of course, an amplifier should have no sound of its own. It should be neutral. It should be nothing but just a straight through um, signal in, signal out. But the truth is, listen, for the most part, I would say every amplifier has a sound signature. So, no, I think that Europeans or Americans don't have like a general idea of like Americans only go for bass and Europeans only go for high frequencies. Now, I think it's the brand itself that decides what they shoot for when it comes to the sound of the amplifiers they're building. AVIC Class D amps, I mean, I think they're great, but I mean, are they worth the money? I think if you have Borison speakers, yeah, I think they go really well with Borison speakers. Good preamp for Merrill Audio Element Class D. I mean, Jason, if you're asking me a good preamp for Merrill Audio Element, guys, gotta play. I've said this on my website many times. The biggest giant killer for me from all the preamplifiers I've had was indeed the Merrill Audio Christine preamplifier, which you can probably find right now in the used market for about anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000. Okay. Merrill Audio Christine preamplifier is phenomenal. It easily bested my Paslabs XPS what is it, XPS 30? XPS 30, yes. It easily bested it. So yes, absolutely phenomenal preamplifier. Absolutely clear sounding, great, great bass. Okay, let me see. What else? All right. So what else do you guys have? Let me see, guys. So yeah, no, there are many different combinations that work. And I would say that when you're looking to build your system, it's important to make sure that you match up the right electronics. If you're trying to be your cook in the own kitchen, your cook in the your own cook in the kitchen. Sorry, that's when things get tricky. That's when things get really, really tricky. Yes, Pass Labs are certainly compatible with Wilson Audio speakers. Yes, they are. Wilson Audio and Pass Labs, definitely good match. I do believe there are other brands that work better, like Griffin. Griffin sounds amazing with Wilson, especially the Griffin Antillean Evil. Griffin Antillean Evil. Do I ever play concerts on that screen? No, the screen behind me is strictly to watch Netflix or any movies that are coming out. That's really what that screen is for. I watch a lot of 4K content when I'm not feeling like listening to my system, which is the case right now. I'm not really feeling like listening to my stereo system right now. I'm like a little saturated from listening to music, if that makes sense. I just want to listen to my headphones and play Pandora while I'm doing, running errands and things like that. Have I heard Wilson Audio XVX? Yes, I have heard the Wilson Audio XVX speakers. I believe that is one of the most impressive presentations I've ever heard from any speaker by bar none. But at $349,000, the Wilson Audio XVX is huge investment, huge investment. I dare to say, and this is something that is very, very, I would say secret, but something that has never been shared. I dare to say that based on feedback that I have received, very, very, very secret feedback, I dare to say that the Chronosonic XVX is the best loudspeaker ever designed by Wilson Audio, even better than the one that's $700,000. I dare to say that speaker is the better speaker. Now, I also dare to say, and hopefully this doesn't hurt anybody out there, and hopefully this doesn't make anybody upset what I'm about to say, but I dare to say that Daryl Wilson is a superior designer to his father. This is throwing no shade on his father, may he rest in peace. But I dare to say Daryl Wilson is a superior loudspeaker designer than his father. His voicing is a lot better, more to my liking. He just, in my opinion, took his father's ideas and completely took them to a whole new level. My screen behind is 138-inch, 235 by 1 ratio. No, I mean, I don't. I listen. Wilson, as again, I've had it many times, just like I've had Magical. But remember they successfully transitioned and they have a new, younger CEO. Daryl is, I can't speak but great things, nothing but great things about the guy because I don't know. I just feel like his vision and where he's taking the company and what he's doing is just I can only imagine the level of work that guy is doing. And that guy must be approximately my age, or maybe even younger. I can only imagine the level of responsibility on his shoulders to run that company. I believe they have 63 employees right now. And all of his father's legacy is all on his shoulders. That's a lot, guys. That is a boatload of pressure. Let me tell you. What do I think about active speakers, guys? What I think about active speakers is basically, you know, it's still a new idea. I don't think they have fully mastered that type of design yet. What I don't like is the lack of flexibility. So you can't really try different amplifiers. And I think that could be a bummer for some of you guys because we all get tired of the same sound. And so eventually we start to replace things within our systems. And having active speakers essentially forbids you completely or from trying different amplification. And so that's my only knock with that. Okay. Remember, most of you guys are here today trying to find electronics that suit your needs. But the reality is, the hobby is never over. As long as you're here watching YouTube channels, reading magazines, I've said this before, it'll never ever end. You will never stop doing this. You will never stop doing this because you keep reading and more ideas are essentially, you got a lot of seeds planted in your head all the time from all the information you consume on a daily basis about this hobby. So, you know, to put a speaker with an active amplifier inside is almost like saying, do this and you're done. But are you really going to be done? Are you really going to stop looking for other things? And that's a question only you can answer. Let me see what other questions you guys are having. Any other thing you guys, let me see. We're 2 hours and 34 minutes. I'm going to give you a few more minutes to answer any other questions you may have, and then go ahead and spend some time with my family. Let me see what other questions do you guys have before I go on. Let me see. I'm reading some of the questions. TAD speakers, yes, at some point for sure. Will I be listening to more vinyl? That is the plan. I want to definitely circle back to vinyl. I enjoy listening to vinyl a lot. As I mentioned earlier, I totally understand why there are so many vinyl lovers. I needed to get in it. I needed to own a turntable to understand the love for vinyl, and I totally understand it now. My contact email is on the description of every single video that you guys see. Always there. Or you can always go to jayaudiolab.com, my website. You can always find my contact information there. It's easy to reach me. I love my Kronos turntable. Kronos turntable, and mine is not even the one with the latest arm and the latest power supply. Mine is like the very first ones that came out, and I love it, man. My take on GR Research is, I don't really have much to say about GR Research. I know he has a great channel, lots of followers, very passionate guy. He loves, to reinvent and make speakers better, and I commend him for that. It's a tremendous skill set. Do I prefer analog or digital? I like both. Both of them have place in any system. I think everyone should have a vinyl and digital. Now, I understand vinyl is an inconvenience for some of you guys because you need to buy records and clean them. I get that, but I think they both are phenomenal sources. What will be my first speaker? I can't really say right now. All I said is I have a flagship speaker coming in soon, and the next week I will be taking delivery of it. But some of the speakers you saw at this last show will definitely make an appearance. Okay, I can tell you that. Just not right now, not at this very moment. Okay, because I had already committed to something else before I got to the show. Class D amplifiers that I enjoyed, I really love the Merrill Audio Element Class D amplifiers. I thought they were phenomenal. I also like the Belcanto Black system. Great Class D amplification. Thank you, Jay. Have a great day as well. Tyler acoustic speakers, I have heard those being mentioned, but I never really looked in that direction. Not for any particular reason. The thing is, my eyeballs are always like with images of other stuff. So I never get a chance to do this and like get things out the way so I can focus on other things. That's why I need to go to Germany, right? To get my eyes and my ears in front of other brands. Speaker cables for Sopra 2, my cable line, authentic audio image. That's all I'm going to tell you. My cable line is phenomenal. Do you cover speakers with something? I don't cover speakers with anything, unfortunately. To say don't get dusted. I dust my stuff regularly, though. I do dust my room, every other week or so to keep it relatively clean. No, I have never heard the active Bryston system in any show yet. I haven't had the pleasure of owning or hearing the Bryston active system yet. And no, maybe someday. I was going to bring some Bryston speakers before I even had a YouTube channel. I remember those days where I wanted to hear Bryston. I hear their amplifiers are phenomenal. I've owned a few of them. I've wanted to own the 28 B cubes monos to see how they do, but I know they're tremendous, like workhorses. All right, let me see. And last few questions, folks, before I go. Let me see. One more. Take a few more questions right now. Have another 5 minutes to go. Any other questions you guys may have? You see, nobody knows. Nobody knows what will be the next step when it comes to sound reproduction at home. Who knows? I do not know anything about this Cali show. Somebody just told me. I have no idea when this Cali show, California show is happening. Thank you, William. I appreciate your comments, your kind comments about my channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you guys are liking this. It is extremely difficult to balance my family with my hobby. Extremely difficult, guys. You have no idea. As I mentioned to you, part of the part of the feedback I'm going to give you with this next loudspeaker, the that I am going to bring on this bring soon, will be also to articulate all the work I've been doing that lead up to this next chapter in my life. Okay, and part of it is balancing my family, the time that I spend with them, and being with them, and being with you guys. It's not easy to do to have a successful YouTube channel, and I'm by no means successful because I only I'm still scratching the surface when it comes to viewers. As a matter of fact, that's all I can ask of you is to link my videos on multiple forums, multiple websites, wherever you see that my video can create some sort of impact. Feel free to put them there so that people can watch them, and I can get more subscribers that way. Thank you, man. Thank you for thinking that the best hi-fi channel on flat Earth. Thank you. Appreciate that. I try to, but it's not easy. I try to. Oh, best speaker brand to buy under $10,000. Man, that's a tough one. Under 10 grand. Best speaker depends. If we're talking used or are we talking MSRP? If I'm talking MSRP, I mean it's. I think honestly, man. To be honest with you, I like Magnapan, man. For the money, it's phenomenal. For that money, I just think Magnapan does a lot. If you can find a used 20.7 for like 9 grand, believe me, you're gonna have a hard time selling that. The only problem is the room. You need a big room for that. It's a big speaker. You know, that's the only problem. But if I were you, I'll just buy a used Magnipan 20.7 for like 8, 9 grand, and you'll be blown away by that speaker. Blown away. It's a tremendous speaker for the money. It's more money now because obviously everything has gone up in price. But on the used market, you can find a 20.7 for a good deal. Again, as long as you have the room, okay, for them, I think you could be very, very happy with a Magnapan 20.7. I feel like a Magnapan rep today. Jesus, I've never said so many good things about a Magnapan speaker, in any live stream before. So I feel like a Magnapan rep, like if I'm trying to sell the brand, but I don't know why. I tell it like it is. Thank you for the donation, Pierre. Appreciate you sending me that donation, man. The good brand for it, I would do for a Magna pen. I suggest like a JC1 Plus One, JC1 Plus Mono. If you can afford those on the used market, phenomenal, phenomenal with that brand. Something with a lot of control. Maybe even a Krell, like a Krell 300 watt per channel Krell amplifier. Hagel, I think, would be great. Hagel H30 could be really good with it because it has a lot of control. Um, you need a lot of current, a lot of amplifier, okay, for those magnet pens, okay. So I'm giving you options that are not extra like super expensive. But I think a JC1 Plus, not the old one, the new one, the Plus monos. If you can find a set of those, you'll be very surprised how good that speaker can be because those monos have a lot of bass, and that speaker needs that control. I respect anything Magnapan makes because the price, the performance is just ridiculous. Anything that Magnapan makes, it's ridiculous how great they are for the money. This is why I bought them. When I had them, I had two pairs. I had the 3.7 eyes in here. There's a video of that on my channel, as well as the 20.7s, and I couldn't believe how great they were. I mean, that speaker was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal speaker for the money. And there's a reason why there's so much great positive things said about that speaker is because for the money is a great speaker. It's a great speaker. Only downfall is very inefficient. As I mentioned, you need great amplifiers with a lot of control, a lot of current. The MSB Director, am I getting it? Right now, in case you do not know, the MSB Director is another chassis for the reference DAC or the Select 2 DAC, right? So it's another module, if you will, not a module, but another chassis that houses essentially all the different inputs. And so you isolate the inputs externally, and then you connect through a special cable to your main control unit, right? So it's supposed to be phenomenal. I heard great things about the Director. It's supposed to just completely elevate everything. But guys, it is expensive, guys. 20, 30 grand. I just don't know if it's something I want to embark on, to be honest, guys. I have so much already invested on my digital. I just feel like unless they let me try it, unless MSB allows me to try it here and put it at my door and I can actually sit with it and be blown away, I just don't think it's for me. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to be honest with you. You put 30 grand in that piece, $25,000, and the only way you're selling that is by selling it to someone else who has a reference DAC for MSB or a Select 2. So think about the amount of buyers you're going to have right out of the gate. Not many, not many. Because let's face it, it's not like MSB has all the DACs out there in the world. There are DCS owners, many different owners, Mola Mola. And so I always think about that, right? And I change a lot of equipments, and I don't want to force the buyer of my Select 2 at some point. I don't want to force them to have to buy the Director 2. So that's just a hurdle for me, to be honest with you. So I don't think I'll buy it unless they put it at my door, and I just cannot live without it. I like both analog and digital, guys. Amazing. Both of them are amazing. I can't choose one over the other. They both have just different attributes. Magnepans should be okay with pass labs. My only fear with the pass labs amps is I am afraid it might be a little too dark for the Magnepans, and I think Magnepan benefits from clear sounding amplification. Very clear. Pass labs is not known to be ultra clear. Okay. It's not known to be the clearest. It's not something they're shooting for. Pass Labs is known to be on the warmer side, very, very sweet sounding, okay bass, not the greatest bass control. And I think that's kind of the biggest fear of using a Pass Labs with a Magnepan is I think Magnepan needs an amp with a lot of clamping power, meaning it's got to be able to really clamp onto those panels and make him get the tightest, best bass possible. Okay, so that's what I like about the JC1 Plus. I also think, you know what other amplifier could be great? A Bryson 28B3 or a B2 monoblock set. I think those could be great with Magnepens. Okay, so maybe a Bryson amplifiers. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get to 200 likes, hopefully. Hit that like button, folks, if you can, please. We're almost up to 200 likes. Let me see. Ohms Walsh. That speaker could be interesting. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I just feel like right now the best version that I have heard of any omnidirectional speaker has been MBL. MBL has been the best version of any omnidirectional speaker I've ever heard. The most impressive one at that. Okay. That's my personal opinion. Okay. Just so you know. Could be different for all some of you guys, and I respect that. I'm not here to argue or debate with anybody. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to just talk with you guys about, audio in general. I use Rune occasionally, Roberto. Occasionally I use it. Is there a better solution? No, I don't think there's a better solution than Rune, to be honest with you. I like the Arrender streaming software. It's amazing. And I also like Lumen's streaming software. Amazing. And the new Esoteric gear has amazing streaming software too. Rockports, some big rock ports. You never know. Could be a rock port. Sony CS5 loudspeakers. I don't have any plan, to be honest, Craig. about reviewing the Sony CS5 loudspeakers. No particular reason. It's just I never really crossed my mind, you know. But again, I didn't plan to review TADs, and I think that's going to happen now. You know, after what I listened, what I heard of the show. I think Focal Sopra 3s in a Macintosh amp could be good because I think that Sopra 3 could definitely benefit from a warmer amplifier. So I think that could be a good pairing, actually. Maybe a 2301 Macintosh with a Sopra 3. Just, reach out to me. Let's do a consultation poll if you want. Instead of buying and selling and trying and losing money, maybe that could be a good opportunity to do a consultation with me. Just email me. Do you like Plasma Tweeter? So I do like Plasma Tweeter. I heard the Launchy Audio, the German brand. I heard it at the show. Great extended tweeter, a lot of refinement, super fast tweeter, I must say. But I haven't really been in love with the entire, like the holistic presentation of of where these plasma tweeters are incorporated just yet. But maybe if I go to Munich, that will change. But it's an interesting tweeter. Hagel preamplifiers, I only have experience with the matching preamplifier to their H30 amplifier. I can't remember the model number off the top of my head. And I also have experience with their Hagel integrateds. Have I tried the Unis statement? I haven't tried that statement music server yet, but I do know someone who loves it. Yeah, Tad was amazing at the show. I agree with you. Thank you for being there, man. Appreciate you being there at that the Tad private audition. Awesome, man. Yeah, the Macintosh amplifier, the MA352 hybrid amplifier, great. Wow, awesome. Do I think that the 40-year-old AB class amp, look, something needs to be said about 40 and 50-year-old amplifiers, okay? Folks, I have tried the old Krell 700 monster amplifier. Okay, you know what that is, right? I have tried amplifiers like the Boulder 2060, not the 2160, the 2060 came out in the 90s. I have always been quite disappointed by the performance of old amplification in comparison to today's lineup. I don't recommend you all buy in old amplifiers like that. You are losing so much more nuance information that you wouldn't believe. Now, yes, of course, you wouldn't know this unless you had a current amplifier sitting right next to it to compare it against. I have already done those comparisons, guys. You should have no business buying 40-year-old amplifiers, 30-year-old amplifiers. I personally don't recommend any amplifier, my personal opinion, older than like 2007, 2008. I just don't think anyone should be buying amplifiers older than that. Now, again, if your intent is to stay as current as possible when it comes to what the current breed of amplifiers delivered, that's what I mean. I wouldn't go past 2008. Could you find a diamond in the rough prior to 2008? Yes, that's certainly a possibility, folks. No doubt in that. Yes, no doubt. Okay. But I'm saying the chances of that happening are very slim to none. So if you're looking for amplification, I wouldn't buy anything that was manufactured prior to like 2008. Why are all the good DACs so expensive? I wish I knew, Pierre. I really wish I knew, man. I really wish. I just don't know. I mean, it almost feels like a hustle, if I'm being honest with you. DACs being so much money, right? Because DAC technology changes so rapidly. But I mean, everyone's doing it and people are buying it. So I think manufacturers are going to keep building stuff that people buy. Yeah, if you don't have a budget for a nice preamplifier, okay, if you don't have a budget for a nice preamplifier, and you have to go DAC direct. There's nothing wrong with that. But as soon as you have the budget to buy a real preamplifier, do so. You will thank me later. I'm telling you, a DAC cannot do a real preamplifier's job. And I repeat, a real preamplifier's job. Now, yes, you might find that the DAC you are currently playing with going direct into your amp sounds better than your preamplifier, but then you don't have a real preamplifier. You may have an okay preamplifier. What makes an amplifier after 2007 better? I'm looking at 15 years back. I would say 15 years back is what I would do. I wouldn't go past that. The oldest, 15 years ago, manufactured and released 15 years. That's as far back as I would go. Too many things have gone. Look, okay, let me tell you something that you guys are going to thank me for here, okay? Hit that like button when you have a moment, please. Hit that like button. Let me tell you something, okay? Think about it like this. Think about it like this. Why am I saying 15, no more than 15 years old? An amplifier that was designed and released no more than 15 years ago. Let me tell you why I wouldn't go farther than that. If you were to buy right now a 2000 or a 1995 Corvette ZR1 right now, 0 miles, 2 miles on the odometer, right? It was always kept in a garage. It was always kept AC'd, never had any rain on it, right? Beautiful, perfect shape, never, and nobody even sat in it, right? You may think, well, it's a new car. It's not really a new car. And I'm going to explain to you why it's not a new car. All those parts that are sitting in that car are aging. Although they're not moving, they are aging. Tires, they're aging. They begin to crack, even though they have been in a climate controlled environment. Okay, so what happens is there are pieces in an amplifier that, even though they haven't been, if they have never been used, let's say 15 years old, 0 miles, those parts age no matter what, whether you're using the product or no or not, they age. All of that stuff ages. So use is not necessarily everything that's important when it comes to an amplifier, just the fact that it has been used or not. It's not the whole story. Parts inside begin to corrode, the humidity of the house, all of that enters and exits the amplifier, even if you have not used it. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's why I said 15 years is max. I wouldn't go past that. Okay, great. I'm glad you like the Merrill Audio Element 118s with the Alexia 2s. That was a phenomenal presentation in here as well. Any more information about the Chinese reproduction Nordos cables? No more information other than I was blasted on by everybody for being accused of being a liar about the cables not sounding great. They don't sound great at all, but I am not going to argue because I never win those battles. I always lose those battles, so I left that alone. No problem, Craig. Anytime. Integrated tube amplifiers. I don't have any integrated tube amplifiers. I have owned Octave Audio from Germany years ago before my channel, and that was one of the best integrated amplifiers I've ever heard. Octave Audio. Check them out online. Read up on them. Great integrated amplifiers. They're not that big either or that expensive. Yeah, so when you're looking for your next amp and you don't have a big budget and you have to go to older amplifiers, I repeat, don't go back more than 15 years. Okay, it's not going to sound as good as it's not going to sound as good as the new offerings are. I promise you that, guys. I've already done the homework. Okay, believe me when I say this. Okay, don't do that to yourself. All right, don't do that to yourself. 15, that's max. You know, so don't embark on that. All right. Okay, folks. Well, it's been a lovely 3 hours with you guys this afternoon. I am exhausted. I need to spend some time with my family. I appreciate the support. As I mentioned, in case you are joining us right now, I have a new flagship loudspeaker that will essentially redefine my channel. That loudspeaker will be delivered. I will have my hands on it. If all goes well, knock on wood, next weekend. My members, the members of my website, will get eyes on that new loudspeaker. If you are interested, if you're interested in knowing what it is, if you care to help, please become a member. If you don't, no big deal. Wait a few more weeks and you will get to see the loudspeaker make an appearance front and center. It is the most expensive purchase in the history of my lab. It is more money, MSRP money, than any speaker presented at the Florida Audio Expo. It is not a TAD, it is not an MBL, it is not an Acora Acoustics, it is not a Clarisis panel speaker. It is neither one of those, but it is one special statement flagship loudspeaker currently in production today. I really hope you guys are looking forward to that next chapter. I am working with my video editor to make a killer video about this new loudspeaker that will make an appearance very soon on my lab, guys. I hope you guys stay tuned and you guys are looking forward to this because I promise you, you will be shocked. I still do not know how I got there, but I did it. I guess it's, the stars aligned for me, and a lot of great things will come from that. A lot of great things will come from that purchase. Okay, so thank you for the support, folks. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all the feedback you guys have given me today about my work at the Florida Audio Expo. It's clear to me that you guys are absolutely acknowledging me and seeing the value and the content that I'm putting out, even after the show, putting up interviews that no one else is doing with the manufacturers, asking the real questions that are the questions you guys want answers to, and just simply even calling myself out when I'm wrong about something in the past, as I have done with MBL. And I brought him from the dead, essentially, to being one of the best rooms at the show. I hope that if there's any exhibitor watching me right now, okay, on right now paying attention to this, I hope you guys understand that. First of all, I appreciate all that effort you guys are putting in. Okay, it cannot be easy what you do, and all the money you guys put into this production, all these shows, and I don't want to take that away from you all. I also want to say that, if I have you as a room that disappointed me on this future video that I will be releasing, I want you to know that it's not a personal thing. I want you to know that it's not about trying to belittle your work or throw shade at what you do or not appreciating all the support, all the things you do. I want you to know that this is about what I heard at the show. And that does not mean that you cannot redeem yourself and become the best of show the following show. Okay. Remember that. Okay. My job is to simply cover my audience, cover my followers, and give them my honest opinion on what I hear. That's all I'm doing, folks. Nothing else. But I want to make sure you guys understand that it's not hate. It is not trying to hurt your brand or your business. It's simply me saying at that particular show, I didn't like what I hear because it could be the room. It was not great. You know the deal. Okay. Thank you, folks. Please continue to support me, subscribe, and hit that like button on this video so that this video hopefully gains more traction. It's been a lovely 3 hours with you all. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Peace.